Okay, guys, we are live! So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly, what am I going to be? Your friendly Kingmaker today, because today we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign, playing Paizo Publishing's outstanding Pathfinder 2nd Edition Fantasy RPG, and we are playing through a modified version of their classic, I guess now classic, Kingmaker Adventure Path, or Mega Adventure. Because it's all in one big book. And with me tonight are the stars of the Kingmaker campaign. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing. First up is Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Trog. He is a goblin sorcerer who loves fire.
Nice. Next up is Jamie.
Hey everybody, I'm Jamie. I'm playing Brommel. He's a lizard folk thaumaturge and sword scion.
Nice. Next up, joining us from an ungodly hour is James.
Hey, so I'm James, and I am playing Vaz, the orc soldier and sword scion who wants to be a general.
Nice. Next up is our resident armor smith and slayer of cinnamon rolls, Dave.
Thanks, Kev. I'm Dave, and I am playing Shara, and she is a human swashbuckler with a penchant for bookkeeping.
Nice. And last, but certainly not least, is our resident striker, George.
Hey, everybody. I'm George. I'm playing Drowinius, who is a human wizard like Trog, kind of passionate about fire, but in more of an academic sort of way, let's say.
I really should have said striking writer. Striker sounds like we're switching over to D&D 4.
That's why for a second I was like, are we playing 4th edition? What? And I really messed up.
And here I thought you were comparing him to David Beckham.
Yeah, I could be that as well, too.
That's the other way to go.
That's the third jump on my mind would do. All right. So then I think let's see here. Last time, I believe it was, so John, who's not here, and James and Jeffrey were the players. So what do you guys recall from last time? Let me see if I can give you some visual aids to recall here. Let's see.
Because I have no clue.
Here's one.
Wait, did we fight the owlbear?
We got across back from the river, and then we ran into a bunch of bandits. And then we fled from the bandits. The owlbear was in the way, but we went round it, and we had to go up a hill, and then we had to cross some rickety bridge, all to escape the bandits who were pursuing us, if I recall correctly.
Use of the chase deck. That's right. We justified a purchase. So our future Kingmakers fled from the owlbear. They decided to beat feet and try and outrun the thing, and successfully did so. Unfortunately, running into a pack of more Staglord bandits last time. Do you recall what your broader goal was? Let me see if I can bring you over to the map here. Where is it? Where is it?
Because we were pursuing. I need to find my notes.
Here we go.
Our man with the sword.
Right. Our overarching overall goal, even above that, is to get invited to this some kind of special event that is that Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori, I think her name is, is having, and so that then led to this quest that we're on that James maybe can explain.
Find the hungering sword.
Hungering sword.
Yeah.
So that's Ulagor Bartos, right? I think. But we thought he's legging it, we think, towards a trading post somewhere along this road. So just at the end. So we were trying to get to the trading post by zooming along the road itself, because we reckoned he'd be off the beaten track, trying to go through the backwoods and take longer.
Mm-hmm.
And we were trying to get there to speak to him.
He did
To achieve our
confront
chest.
Trog, though, at the beginning of last session.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
And there was some poorly chosen words, and he, while invisible, left.
It's true. I don't remember exactly what I said.
I don't recall offhand either, and I didn't watch. I watched just the last bit of last session just to remember where we were ending off. But I do recall the words were poorly chosen because he.
I'm sure I rolled really well, though.
I'm certain that is the case. That's rare that you roll terribly in any game. I think it was more the framing of things, and then Vaz happened to wake up and jump out to try and attack right away. Or at least that's what happened. Whether that played into the Hungering Sword's decision is another question. You guys did explore further along towards the center of that massive river. But when you found a place where he was hiding out, it seemed that there was no Hungering Sword to be found there. But there were some clues as to what might have happened. Do you guys recall anything about that?
I was not present.
No.
I can make something up. Not going to help anybody.
Well, then, so it seems that your characters have forgotten those. So,
Oh no! Hey guys.
Yeah,
you go.
pretty much.
I mean, it was a couple months ago that we played last.
And I did write it down. But I think I don't. Wait, maybe I do still have it. I have so many notes around. This one is.
And you barely play games, so it's weird we'd have so many notes.
No, I don't see it. No.
all right.
So
Then
I don't know. The truth is, I don't know. I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah. Then what? This is my surreptitious way of bumping up views, forcing the players to rewatch old sessions.
What a dirty trick.
2 hours viewed on YouTube.
Oh, what is
I'm
going
happy
on?
to watch. Yeah, I'm happy to watch anything that I'm not in. I don't want to see myself, but I'm happy to watch everybody else play.
So we found the Hungering Sword. We said
He
something.
found us.
He found us. We said something, or the conversation didn't go well, and he bookered. He left. And then we tried to track down his encampment. We got there, and there were signs, but we don't know where he went. I kind of tested it.
Well, he seemed to that there was no further you could really go in the river, because remember the river there is quite broad, so there was no further really way they could go. So the only direction he could have gone is back to the edge, and that's what led our heroes going back to the bank of the river and then following along. I think you guys did find tracks when you got back to the bank that suggested he had slipped past you in the night.
Right, we rested. And then he got past. Yeah, like basically the conversation that I remember is we were trying to negotiate with him and offer him protection, and he kind of said, I don't need protection from you guys, basically, is what I remember, a lot of it. And it's like,
I would rewatch it.
yeah.
Memory's a tricky thing. Then what you guys decided? There was some, as you guys had said, there was some discussion as to how best to approach this, and like because the northern part of the Stolen Lands are wide open, like there's really only one place he would have to pass through, and because he did not, Trog knew him well enough to know he wasn't really one who could live off of the land. that he'd have to stop off and get supplies. So you guys have been racing trying to get here. I believe that Trog and maybe only Trog, but somebody I believe is already fatigued because you were pushing yourselves to get that extra distance. Let's see here, characters.
Yeah, I think that I marked it on my sheet.
I don't know. Yeah, it would because it would.
There is a check for it, right?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
You'll be under.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, you're
I'm
frightened.
frightened. No, I'm frightened.
Just in general.
Just
Not fatigued. Frightened.
I think it's fatigued you're supposed to be. Because we didn't leave in a cliffhanger or in a fight or anything like that.
It was. I don't see. Oh, there.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, and then
not frightened. There we go.
let's see if hold on. I think
Maybe I just clicked the wrong thing.
that's what I'm thinking because it's in the same neighborhood there, and we were right at the end of the session. So let's see here. Oh, you know what it is? Is when you tick on those, it opens it up as an option. Oops, wrong thing. Like-
Oh, and then you. Oh,
Yeah, like when you tick it, it is a. What the fuck is going on here? Come on. Whoa. Yeah, because if you tick on it, underneath there is. Let's see here, Trog. It should show. Yeah, see, there's a fatigued one underneath there now when you had frightened before. See how it shows up and gives you the option? So, and
yeah.
I think. Oh, okay. I don't know why. It was displaying differently in John's sheet here, or perhaps I just wasn't looking properly. Either is equally.
No, it's
likely.
working too because it's giving me the -1 AC.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I can see it.
Not ideal, but
No, not perfect.
Right.
okay. So then, as you guys are, I believe we're starting with you guys waking up. I actually skipped. I skipped the very last bit of it. So if I got this wrong for those listening at home, I do apologize. But I believe we're waking up, and you guys are you're trying to push your way through to that trading post. That sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then, with morning coming, that means Drawinius, you will be able to heal back 1 hit point.
Okay, I'll take it. Thank you.
Okay. And I think if you wish to spend 10 minutes, there's a number of your companions who are trained in healing, so they could, administer to you. You only are down by 2. Shara is down by a couple. Shara, you'd wake up with 1 extra hit point as well. And then, does anyone want to treat Shara or Darwinius before you guys head on with your travels today?
I'm definitely the squishiest.
Medicine on Rowenia.
You will? Okay, go right ahead.
Oh, awesome.
Good.
Cool.
I can try to go.
Yeah, this will be 10 minutes.
Shira. Let's see.
What was that? Was someone saying something?
I'll try on Shira.
On Shira. Okay, yeah, go right ahead, guys. 15 right on the nose.
Nice. Now
And
let's see.
Shira, your medicine. No!
Oh.
Very close to hurting Drawinius. You want to spend a hero point on that?
For a reroll?
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean,
Yeah, I will.
Dave, don't feel
I
like
can attempt medicine if you don't want to reroll.
You have to wait an hour then. Because once someone has attempted on it, you need to wait an hour before they can attempt again.
I become immune to medicine.
Refresh my memory. How often do we get the hero points in?
Every half hour.
Okay, so then I will do it.
Oh, awesome. Okay, thanks.
Let's see. Come on.
Come on. Yes!
23. Very close to a crit. Wow.
Nice. Yeah.
All right,
She's
so that's
also-
2d8 hit points back for Shara, which should bring her back to full, and 2d8 back to Drawinius, which will bring him to full. So congratulations.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
While they're getting ready, you guys have an opportunity to discuss what your strategy is here. So do you have any thoughts as to how you're going to approach the Hungering Sword when you see them.
Frog, you seem to know him best, or at least better than the rest of us. Do you have any suggestions?
And jokes aside, you can assume it's that Trog may have been trying his best to allay the Hungering Sword's fears, but it seems like he's in a heightened state of paranoia. And what you saw in his cave with the many fish that were collected there, recall he may have been hiding out for quite some time because of those crabs that sort of trapped him in that cave.
Right.
How do we ease those fears?
Excellent question.
Do we have to prove ourselves in some way?
Or do we think he wants a pardon or something?
That is something you guys were trying to offer before, but like, we know, like, us as the players know that this is likely the arc of the campaign, but it's no more realistic than me promising you, like, I'm going to make you Minister of Agriculture once I become Prime Minister, you know?
Right.
Like, why the fuck would I ever believe you? Like, you might as well say, you know, you're going to turn into a unicorn, which is possible in this.
Right. We need something more tangible, more here and now to offer him if we want to convince him.
Yeah.
Yes,
I was meaning that he could effectively trade the sword for the pardon, not because he trusts us, but because his sword is.
I think he feels like the sword is one of the few things keeping him alive right now, and giving it up would be foolish.
Yes, I would agree with that. And going along with what Trog said, I think perhaps the first thing we must do is at least convince him that we are on his side, that we do wish to help him. We are not. If he's so paranoid, he may just think we are we just want to steal the sword or do something else to him.
Yeah, the trouble, Shara, with
which
that
is true.
is
very perceptive of him.
the guys learned last time he has the ability, like, he can cast spells. He has the ability to turn himself invisible, so he'll just turn invisible and run.
So if he's threatened in any way or feels, he will just duck out. So we definitely need to avoid that.
Yeah. And also to get him to trust us in some way, like you guys were saying. Do we know anything? Is this a very different personality for him? Do we know from based on what we had heard? What we originally heard?
Before. Do you remember, Jeff, from what we talked about last time?
Well, he used to be more of a leader in this area. Is that correct? And so now, yes, this is very different from who he used to be. This is
from being a relatively successful bandit to have been reduced to hiding out in a cave with no assistance and desperately on the run from his former enemies, the minions of the Stag Lord.
Okay,
basically living off like raw fish in a cave, like a horrible existence. I think he's a broken man,
but at least we know that at one time, not long ago, he was not like this at all. So there is hope that we can perhaps get him back to some semblance of his former personality.
So what if we take out the Stag Lord in his name as, like, you know, and then he can rise back up to power in the vacuum, and he'll also know that he can trust us because we've eliminated his crime.
I think one of our problems is that, and why we're fatigued, is because we're yomping it to the trading station, not just to get there before him, but because we're out of time to get back to on our quest.
It is the 15th of Farast. You have 15 days in order to successfully retrieve the sword and then make your way back.
I hate to say this, as this was felt like a last resort in my mind all along, but if we truly wish to return the sword, before the time is out, we may have to change our tactic.
What way?
A man's life may be forfeit.
So
I'm not-
the two extremes you guys have talked about thus far is promising him the moon for
I
all
know.
intents and purposes, and you have said that you could kill him or forcibly take the sword. There's a world between those two possibilities that...
Yeah, I mean, that really was my suggestion, was just trying to make him think we're on his side and that he can trust us, just so that he can, maybe he'll join us then, and he'll feel safer because you see, there's numbers rather than him being alone. So he'll have some kind of protection, and maybe then gradually that paranoia that he's got may start to slightly go away to the point where we can actually have a real discussion with him about what he wants. Like, yeah, I think it's a great idea to give him what he wants, but what is it that he wants now? Maybe he wants a completely different life, or maybe he wants,
So, Shara, that's got you thinking. Your world, apart from your sword play, is a balancing of figures, a balancing of profits and debits, of the transacting of goods and services and consideration. With what Drowinius said, what do you think he wants? If there is a middle ground between either promising him something that's you can't guarantee to deliver, like a position or a pardon or something like that, what's the middle ground, do you think?
Possibly just a comfortable existence, where he's not like scrounging for food and he's not hiding in a cave. Maybe he just wants to live out his days somewhere.
Trog, does that sound like what a bandit would want?
I mean, Trog does it for the glory, so I don't know. I'm not sure. He seems...
Think yourself, because you avoided this circumstance because we all know you were a baker, not a bandit.
Right, of course.
But if you were a bandit and you used to run something, what do you think might motivate you?
Wealth? I mean, I'm not sure what his motivation was. Power? It's something. I mean, he was their leader, so he rose to power. So whether it was to have enough wealth to live a very comfortable life.
What if he was just a leader again? What if he had capable lieutenants by the names of Rommel, Trog, Shara, Drowinius, and Bat?
Yeah. Respect,
I mean,
the allies.
And ultimately, he may want to restart, this sort of kind of bandit brigade that he put together, where he's the leader and he lives on his own terms, but he does have power, like Trog, you were saying.
So, Vaz, what you're thinking about, I imagine, is that cave that he found himself in. Someone who became a leader of other warriors, in a way. That's something that you aspire to. Imagine that you were in that position and you found yourself sitting in that cold cave, dwindling amounts of firewood, so you're often cold. You're probably not able to cook the fish that you're forced to eat.
And a little cut she made that left
Oh,
a little scar.
whoa. Jamie, we're getting, or from somebody, we're getting music again. Yeah, it's coming through again. Guys, can you please be sure that you've got nothing playing in the background? It's particularly important because we don't want to get copyright strikes on the stream because of music.
I'm muted on my...
Yeah, it's Jamie, you still there?
Jamie looks very frozen.
Yeah, Jamie looks frozen.
Yes.
We were having an issue with his before where it was having music come through. I'm just going to mute him out of an abundance of caution for now. And I'll also let him know in chat.
But, so have we shown him the abundance of Staglord pendants we've retrieved from slain Staglord bandits?
We
No.
didn't. No.
What I was sorry, before we were interrupted, what I was gonna ask Vaz is, if you were sitting there, what would you be thinking of?
Well, it's, how would I gather a group again?
To do what?
To
Revenge.
off the stag lords and become the preeminent bandit of the area.
And of the different things you guys have talked about, of getting wealth, getting comfort, getting a band back together, and revenge. Trog, Vaz, if you were in those positions, which of those do you think would be your preeminent goal? Which would be the thing you would prioritize above all others?
Well, I know what it is for Trog. Clearly, it's revenge. I mean, I've never had those other things, so I wouldn't miss them. But I would be seeking revenge. Whoever took my kingdom from me, I'm going to burn them to the ground at least.
But
Even
if he
if
was
it's the last thing I do.
If he was looking for revenge, would he have been hiding in a cave, or would he have been somewhere plotting and scheming? And
Maybe he was hoping for, some of the heat to die down, so to speak. So that he could be in a position to make a move. Or maybe he was practicing his magics. He clearly has the magic of invisibility now. We have seen it.
Yeah.
Maybe that is new. I don't know enough. I don't know quite enough details about his skills to know if that is something he always could do or something that he has acquired.
I mean,
It is something he could always do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
seems to just have found himself at a low point and unable to even make plans, for he had no resources whatsoever to carry them out.
Mhm.
So perhaps we help get him better equipped and provisioned, make sure he's got enough to eat, and help him in some way to set himself up for what he wants to ultimately do, which I agree is probably get revenge. Whether we can help him with that or not, I do not know, or want to, I do not know. It may be something we do in exchange for his giving us the sword, perhaps. I
just ask, comrades, is this what we want, to help a bandit leader get back on his feet to terrorize the populace? And waylay travelers?
Definitely a question that,
it seems the Stag Lord's quite prominent, quite powerful right now. If we remove the big baddie and replace it with a lesser baddie, is that not better for the people in the net effect?
it would seem so to me. But I do not know much of these things. I spend most of my time in libraries.
I mean, clearly the ultimate goal would be for there not to be bandits anywhere, of course, for everyone to have all that they need, but that is not the world we live in, and I don't know.
I mean, it seems to us, right, that the Stag Lord is worse than this guy was as a bandit.
I guess
That's
we
my
can
impression.
divide and conquer, as you say. But if bandits fight bandits, I guess that's better than bandits attacking the populace.
I mean, they definitely seem to have done that in this case. A Stag Lord attacked.
What if we convince bandits from the Stag Lord to come over to the Hungering Lord? In effect, doing what Baz just said, and weakening the Stag Lord, strengthening it, playing on the powers in the region, thus rising the Hungering Sword up in power and making it less easy for the Stag Lord to terrorize the populace.
But I think we've got 1 day to persuade them to stop working for the most powerful bandit in the region and go work for a loser who eats cold fish in a grave.
I mean, I maybe, so I think we're onto something in terms of having, a direction for all these options we're coming up with. It may ultimately wind up being that we have to have a conversation with him to figure out exactly what it is he wants, and maybe there's something that we're not thinking of, or something that we can do that would help him. Like, what is the thing that we can do that would help him the most achieve his aims, which we're all pretty sure is revenge.
Right. What could we do to help him achieve his goal that would be enough for him to consider what our request is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Revenge or rising back to a leadership status.
Or both. In terms of how much time we think it'll take us to catch up to him, about how far away are we, Kev?
You're about a day or a half day's travel from.
Okay.
Oh, I think it's a day actually. A day's travel from where you are until you reach that trading post.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we pushed the extra travel so we could make it.
Yeah. So that was great. I mean, I think that can be the next step. Unless there's other people have other thoughts on how to approach him in a better way.
And how are we calculating the route back and the time back to?
Kevin, if you can confirm, I thought we'd calculated that we had to push also because we have to resolve this and immediately head back.
I believe so. Let's double check the.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, because
we have like 1 day when we get there, and then we've got to head back.
When is or how long is each X?
That's I'm just double checking here. Okay, here we go. Subsystems. Influence. Chases. Infiltration. Duels. Here we go.
I'm going to infiltrate him. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm going to make my infiltrate roll. It's going to be great.
What is the slowest speed in the group? Is it 25?
Yeah.
Mine's 25.
I'm 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is 1 per day. 1 travel activity allows you to move 1 hex to an adjacent hex. So that means it will be, let's see here. No snapping. Jamie's coming right back on. He's just had his computer shut the bed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days back. It is the 15th of Farast right now. That'll put you back a couple of days before. So you do have a couple of days leeway, assuming you do not run into any other issues. And like, when have you ever? Oh, Dave's here to roll weather. Okay, hold on.
Exactly.
Sneak attack.
Yeah, everything we've had that gets blown away. Oh, great.
We're also 1 day. We're going to travel 1 day further, so it'll take a day.
I measured from there. Oh yeah, so it'll be 10 days in total.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're cutting it close, but we have a chance.
A small. So
then here's the thing: if we don't have that sword, we probably have 0 chance, or very, very close to 0 chance of getting that invitation that we're after in the first place. So we've got to figure out.
And that's the thing. The reason I wanted to talk about the middle ground of the things is because you have 2 options. Well, one is to do nothing and just let him get away. The other is to kill him or try and kill him and take the thing, and it's possible that might be successful. The other option is somewhere in the middle, and you know what's happened thus far. Although, again, bearing in mind what his mindset must have been like, he probably took everything that you possibly could have said that would have been, could have been misunderstood, Trog. He could have just taken that in the absolute worst way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, is there any concern you have over any of you guys being at, like, arriving there? You know, of him potentially spotting you, or do you have a contingency in mind for when you were there when he shows up? If he recognizes any of you. Do you have a concern with that, or do you think that...
Well, I think just one thing is that we probably should not have Trog be the one he interacts with, just given how things turned out last time. Not that you did anything wrong, or that I would do any better necessarily.
It would be good if someone else would try.
Perhaps
Possibly not me, I guess.
Perhaps he'll listen to a lady this time.
Well, I guess Trog wouldn't say it this
Where will we find?
What was that, James?
Where will we find one?
A lady, yeah.
I do not, for example, as a last resort, I can't do. I was thinking maybe I had some way of doing this, but I have no magic that would allow me to say make him more amenable to listening to us and befriending us, unfortunately. So that's not an area where I can be of service. And I'm not, as you, I think I've noticed, not great with the conversation.
Oh, do you have anything that would make him more visible as well? Not that I approve of magic.
I mean, unfortunately, no. It's not really my area.
So
it's very hard with invisible people.
I mean,
maybe Shira.
I can detect magic though, and that may be helpful. If we think he might be in the area, I can cast that spell. I believe it's a ritual, actually, that I can cast.
No, I think that's 5e. It's a cantrip.
That's why I think I got. Oh, it's a cantrip. That's right. That's what it is.
Yeah. Only I don't know.
Yeah.
You receive no information beyond the presence or absence of magic.
Yeah. So it would just be the idea, like, if we just saw something weird happen in the corner. Is there some kind of magic there? That is only one way I could be of help.
Well, and illusion magic, your detect magic only functions if that has a lower level than the level of your detect magic spell, and then you're casting at level 1.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. So it's probably unlikely that I would even detect it, and I wouldn't even detect where it was. I would just detect that somewhere in this area of my. Is very limited, is what I would say.
Okay, a little lag spike there.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
But it was great because you froze into. I have caught a fish this big.
Exactly.
Now he's on my side.
But
so,
is anyone here good at speaking with people?
I'm okay, but he may be biased against me.
I just think we need to make sure if we do spot him, that he perceives us not as a threat. Because he could, if we arrive and he sees us, if I were him, I would suspect that we were hunting him down or something nefarious, given his state of mind. So.
Okay, now this I'm pretty sure I remember. He is aware that we are after the sword.
Okay. Yep. So that's definitely something that has to be like the first thing that we say is something about that, like address it immediately, and say we're not here to take the sword from you. We are here to
take the sword from your corpse.
Help you. Yeah. But you won't care because you'll be dead, so it's fine.
Allow me to relieve you of all your earthly worries.
That's right. Meanwhile, Trog gets snuck up behind him and slit his throat already. This is gonna go great. I think that's the idea. Is like to try to make it clear as soon as we possibly can that we are there to help him, that we were there to aid him, but and not to take the sword from him, because he's just going to run away.
Now we're going to have to break it to him within a day or two that we do want his sword. So we're best to start with. We want to get you back on your feet in exchange for the sword.
Well, I agree. I think the wording I was hoping to use wording that was accurate, meaning we weren't there to take the sword from him. We were, and I left this part out, to make a trade for the sword, that we perform a service for him or something, and then he would willingly give us a sword. I just want to make sure he does not think we are there to kill him or in some way steal it from him. It's right. I would guess the last possession he has that has some kind of power, and he's a person who cares very much about power, it seems.
Now maybe that's the thing. We need to ask him what would he do in exchange for the sword, and we can suggest that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me the biggest issue is trying to find him, just because of the invisibility issue. And then if he's not invisible, making sure he doesn't immediately go invisible.
Well, yeah, the being us issue.
Right.
Well, what if we made it clear, like, so maybe he will be around, but maybe if we make it clear in the trading post, that we're not friends of the Stag Lord. So, hey, wondering if there's any bounty on the Stag Lord or his men. We've run into some and we've dispatched a few. Wondering if there's a bounty or da-da-da-da. And, try to get word out that we're not allies with his enemy. And perhaps so that'll even open the door a little bit to a conversation.
Yeah, so maybe Shara, you can do the talking, because there is the risk that he's encountered myself and perhaps the presence of a 6'6" soldier in armor with a glaive might put him off.
100%. I'll take care of this.
Did any of you get the sense that this paranoia he seemed to be suffering from was caused by a source other than the normal one? It was not magic associated with it, or something that had changed him in a way that cannot be explained by normal human interactions, perhaps.
I believe it's just being hunted by a powerful enemy who, I mean, we've seen how many times now have we run into bandits of the Stag Lord out here hunting for him? His enemies are everywhere.
Right. Very good. I think that is actually helpful. I mean, our first step is at least to reach the post, and then once we arrive, perhaps maybe one of us could try to take a look to see if we spot him without making a huge show of force by all of us arriving together.
Yes, we need to get there first before we can do anything.
Unfortunately, I'm also not good at that. So.
Well, that's good that I'm also somewhat stealthy, I suppose.
I want to have Jonathan to make him some food for you to bring to him.
That would be nice.
See what the weather is like today.
Okay, here we go.
Dave, would you kindly give us a 3D20 roll, please?
This is where things start to go. Exactly.
Yeah.
How did your campaign go? Well, we
Straight sideways.
killed by weather.
So there is no precipitation today. It's a 3D20, please.
Yep, it's coming along.
Okay. And it is average temperature, and there is no inclement or unexpected weather events, although you're pretty close. So, an average travel day for you guys should not pose any extra problems of trying to reach there. No, prairie fires this time. No
Oh, gosh.
unexpected blizzards.
That should tell you how our adventure's going to go, right? We start out and immediately hit by a prairie fire.
Inadvertently, yet another campaign that is based off of Canadian weather.
Inadvertently, yeah.
Inadvertently. That was in the spring, right? Like that was well before all
That's
fucking
true.
Canada caught fire.
That is true. I forgot. You're right.
Yeah. So, all right then. Anything else you guys wish to do before you set out for your journey to the trading post?
I'm gonna cast my normal, my mage armor, that sort of thing.
Okay. Is there anything else that you're rolling apart from mage armor?
There's nothing that is like an all-day spell that I cast immediately upon waking. So it's a great version of the spell. It lasts 24 hours. But yeah, it's the only one that has a really long duration.
Okay. I will be using for secret rolls and for NPC attacks until it becomes unfair my Brancolonia dice.
Oh no.
Because we used it in Paradar last weekend, and I rolled something like 3 nat 20s in the span of about 5 rolls. So, all for player rolls, though.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Let's see how.
I'm a little
how this
convinced
goes.
it would be pretty fucking funny if for that game they release a Jack Dice, because it
I was
really
gonna say,
fits with it.
I was gonna say if the same thing proves true tonight, I'm gonna be ordering that game
Not telling any of my
just to
friends.
get the die.
All right, then, guys, we will set out. Let me grab all our tokens once again. Jamie, I think, is just trying to get his computer back up and running. Let's see here. It is right there. And let's have... Who is keeping watch here? Do we remember? I know you guys had fallen into sort of some roles during the exploration mode. I just do not recall who's doing what.
Set the guard. I'm not sure if that's the same.
Well, that's for camping, but this is for the exploration mode.
Yeah.
Were you scouting, or were you...
Do you feel like we had somebody scouting? I could be wrong, and it wasn't me. Somebody relatively stealthy.
let me see here. I've got...
Which it could have been Jonathan. I don't know. Or Torque.
I don't remember. I don't remember if it was... scouting is just that you grant... If you're not making a skill roll, otherwise you get a +1 to initiative rolls.
Yeah.
Other things are... like avoiding notice or detecting magic, but that's slow. Like, so a lot of these slow you down.
Right. They all make us think go half speed or something like that.
You can also hustle a number of minutes equal to your Constitution modifier times 10. So it'd be whatever the lowest con. I think Trog might not have a great con.
My con's a +2.
Okay. So it's 20 minutes. Yeah.
Oh
so
no, my
unfortunately-
con is good.
Is it? Okay, maybe it's your strength that...
Yeah, it's my strength that's crap.
Okay, got it. Okay, so then I guess we're just, you guys are heading out. Then, let's see here. General, would you kindly give us a D20 roll, please? $17. Okay. So as you guys are making your way across the plains, what you find after about... Oh, it's only right. It's 1 hex. It'll take you your full day. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That ain't good.
Not good at all.
Let's see here. I need this one. These one. Okay. Would you give us, once again, General, a D20 roll?
Nice.
16. Okay. Would then, why don't you all give us a perception check, please? Where's my Kingmaker.
Roll 20. What's the day looking like?
Net
my
one.
goodness.
That's how it's
one.
It was 8 o'clock my time. Everyone gets a hero point. And Trog, I think you
good.
missed one because you haven't spent a hero point yet.
Oh, no.
Okay, Dromaeus
Oh,
Vaz.
like I should have 3 is what you're saying?
You should have 3 right now, yeah.
Okay.
And then Shara, a perception roll, please. 14, okay. Trog, you want to re-roll that? That'll be impacting everyone else's rolls because of that.
Yeah, I guess I will. Makes sense. Since we're... Oh, I mean, it's not better, but it's...
Some better was not a crit fail, so that's something. Drominius, as you guys are making your way across the kind of trackless, what's the word I'm looking for here? Undulating kind of field of grass ahead of you. You're the one who spies that there seems to be 2... it's almost like ripples in water where something is moving against the grain. All the grass seems to be the wind comes from the north down to the south through this region and then down through the stolen lands, and it seems perpendicular to that. There's 2 like a wake in grass being left by 2 things moving very close to your general direction. So you spy this, and they're still about probably maybe 100 yards out.
I'm going to stop and whisper to my friend, wait, I see something ahead. And kind of hopefully gather them around and point out the spot.
Once it's pointed out, Shara and Vaz, you can point out what's going on too. And Trog, I think you're just going to like...
Yeah, I'm too short,
jumping up and trying to see over the grass.
Where? What?
I just see grass.
Yeah. So once you've pointed out, it's the same thing too. The 3 of you can give us nature checks if you like. See if this is a natural occurrence or whether it's, that time of year to celebrate Tremor's anniversary.
Don't even.
Somewhere John is feeling the pained loss of yet another fictitious dog.
Yeah.
Then, so Vaz, you're the one who is able to put this together, and you remember the sort of you keep an eye out for sort of just a little further back from the front of it, and you can see the telltale ridgeback of a boar. It seems to be at least 1, probably 2 boars that are coming fairly close to where you guys are. They were relatively formidable last time you guys faced something like that.
Yes, they were quite dangerous. But we did eat well after.
Head away from it. Away from it again. And I will stand in the way.
Okay.
I'll keep between the rest of the party and it.
Okay.
And them.
So why don't we do this? We'll do the same thing as before. Everyone make a stealth check, and we'll take the median.
Yes.
Let's see.
Oh, wow. That was good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
8, 9, 15. Okay. So
Give me that
median is either a
-1.
15. I think heroes will round up for that, so that's a 15. That's pretty good. Anyone want to spend any hero points to try and bump that up any higher?
Yeah, I rolled a 3.
Yeah?
I might re-roll this.
Yeah, you can. You do.
Go ahead. Yeah, spend a hero point and then give us a reroll, see if you can bump that median up. Come on, Shara. There.
Wow.
Median is now a 16.
Beautiful.
Is that as good as we're going to get? Yeah, probably Drominius and Trog, not the most stealthy of characters. No. So, with you guys moving, where is my... Let me go. Let me take a peek here. Let's see if that's good enough.
So we're going with median, right? Not
Median rounded up. So, like, because there's 4 of you guys, we'll take
Right.
one higher of the two. That would be the median.
So in order to get a boost, we would need Trog to get a better.
Exactly. or if Drowinius rolled better. Because right now you have the highest roll. Yeah, the highest roll is currently Vaz at 16.
Yeah, and
of the two that would be the middle ones.
Yeah, I don't think I could roll much better than what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I could, but I also could roll much worse, I guess is the point, and that's going to go the wrong way.
It's music to my ears. And it's not copyrighted.
That's right.
So what I think you notice then is that as everyone sort of moves behind Vaz, and Vaz, you try and move away, you keep your eyes trained on the ridgeback. There's maybe a moment where one stops, and perhaps if you kind of really focused your hearing, you might hear the snuffling of something trying to decide. And you remember how fast these things move from before. It was just like a fucking whip crack, and they're moving. But they continue moving on in the direction they were going, and you guys are able to avoid running into them.
Awesome.
The rest of the day is relatively uneventful. And after about 8 hours of travel, you guys find yourself in view of a wooden fort. The wooden fort seems to have a 10-foot high palisade around it, or a 10-foot high palisade around it. And bear with me a moment, I'll tell you some more things about it. I want to make sure I don't misspeak. It has a fang dragon. That is hang. Oh no, I'm glad I looked it up. That I was in error. It's just wishful thinking on my part. So.
It seems like an obvious place for them to put one, so I
yeah.
Oh yeah, like why would you? You would assume
yeah.
there would be one there.
An owlbear riding a fang dragon.
With a shark on top. All sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
They're all burrowing under the ground.
Oh my god, guys! You know the very best thing about if I do buy this place. Is that I can actually justify getting the baby owlbear sculpture that they've released as part of that series of it's the same company that makes like the dragon head mounts so you can put in your walls. Because I can just put it in a room that Anna can't get to. Otherwise, it's a very expensive chew toy.
Right. That's awesome. Now I'm doubly got both fingers crossed now.
So this place is about, let's see here, 40, 50, 60, 70. It's about, it's give or take about like 80 feet to 100 on a side, almost perfectly square, and it seems to have, from where you can see, it looks like there are actual siege engines set up in each of the four towers that is built up at the corner of each of these things. This is truly not a place to fuck around with. It's massive spars that are used to build this thing too. I don't know if I'm using the word spar correctly there, but they're fitted together so closely that it's going to be a DC 20 athletics check in order to clamber up it. And for those who don't want to do that, there is a 30-foot wide wooden gate around front. And just going on your rolls from before, it is Drowinius who hears the sound of a wooden hammer being used as you approach. And one of the buildings that sits within there, you can see, as you get close enough, there is someone working on a roof in there. So you guys will be making your way onto the road, and then you'll be able to approach this place. Let me bring you on over there. I think we have our tokens set up correctly, but I guess we'll learn in just a moment.
Yeah. We were not expecting to find it like this, were we, Kevin?
I mean, this is what the trading post is like here.
Okay, it is.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Defensible against bandits?
You have to, kind of be that way when you're living out here.
Yeah.
Fair enough, yeah.
If you're going to be a place that advertises having a bunch of wares and stuff on premises, probably want to have a way of keeping that shit safe from people or for people.
Yeah.
And you know what? It could very well be the case that this has some kind of commissioning with it, in the same way that that what you hear is going to be the case with the grants offered by the Sword Lord. So you guys are down. Let me shift ping you down here. Achoo. And what you can see as you make your way around is a sign on the top that reads Old Legs Trading Post. The man you can see is atop a thing over here, and that is a measuring tool. Guys, you don't need to try and move something with a measuring tool tonight. I've fulfilled our quota.
Excellent.
Hey,
I almost forgot.
DM doesn't take one for the team, then, I mean...
Well, we appreciate
it.
I was totally going to do that, though, so I appreciate you. That might be on the right path.
Might have Jamie back.
Jamie back here. Good. Let's bring Brommel over. I'll put the Zoom link in once again. And we bring Brommel's token over here. Just in time for the Fang Dragon. So, perfect timing. Oh, come on. Make small. There we go. Bravo. Okay. So let's see here. I don't actually see Jamie right now. So let me hit reconnect.
I don't see him either. Just FYI.
Yeah, I don't see... Dave, would you mind hitting reconnect on your side once again? I've lost you as well when I hit reconnect.
Jettison.
Sorry.
Nothing to work.
Okay.
Oh, is that Jamie?
I heard Jamie for a moment. Yeah, I'm just going to mute him.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I got Dave back. All right, so then, as you guys are approaching, you can see that one of the doors is open. I'll keep an eye on the Zoom call to let Jamie in once he is ready. Oh. I see a spinning wheel and it's back to the same thing.
Like this.
Okay. What do you guys do?
I believe we want to go, like, we're not going to sneak in, we're not ne'er-do-wells, so we might as well head on up to the front gate and go there.
You think
about what time is? Oh, sorry.
It's later in the day, so it's probably around 4 o'clock or so. And you can
so
hear
still some lights.
Someone inside calls out a man calls out a woman's name. Svetlana.
Did you all hear that? There was someone called for a woman. I believe a woman named Svetlana.
That's not my name.
Anything to any of you?
Maybe she's gonna answer the door. Hello.
Hello.
And you hear from inside a woman's voice. Hello? Please come in.
Thank you.
And go ahead and move yourself to the trapped gate.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's not a trapped gate. I don't know why I said that.
The friendly gate with
Just-
balloons.
It's a normal, everyday
Just a
trapped.
normal
I mean,
gate.
not trapped. It's not trapped.
Frog's not
Yeah,
gay.
that's what you. Yeah, no, I get it.
Greetings.
I keep saying that.
Wanna
It's
step-
cursed. It's not trapped.
It's yes, right.
Move
the
within
trapped
our,
cursed gate. So as you walk in, what you guys see waiting for you, allow me to make a handout here for you. And I realize after the fact, I think that they already have all these as handouts, so I don't know why I wasted time like getting the images out of the PDF and everything.
Well, no.
It didn't take all that long. Like,
Okay.
it's
Still.
yeah. This is the woman who is meeting you there.
Svetlana?
And her eyes are sparkling, those blue eyes are sparkling. And she says, You've come. Please come and sit. I'll bring wine and food. You must be tired from your travels. Please come sit.
Indeed. Oh, you wouldn't know the half of it.
And you were
Okay.
expecting us?
Well, of course, we got word.
From?
Word came. It was brought by. Hunter. A hunter brought word from Restov.
From Restov.
Yes.
Dave doesn't remember what Restov is because he hasn't played.
Restov is the capital.
That's the. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it's the city that you guys. It's not the capital, but it's the.
Where?
City we started from originally.
Correct.
Yeah.
Not the little town we visited.
It says, please
partway
sit down. Sit down. And you can see there's a man. I'm just going to move him slightly off of the. Is it control or is it alt? It's alt. There we go. Pokes his head down to see what's going on. You guys can feel free to. Please sit down. Sit down, she says.
Thank you.
I sit down, but I'm constantly looking around, I think, to my companions to see if this is normal.
And she looks. I'm sorry. And she says to you, Vaz, you're surprised that we'd heard?
Oh, just wasn't really expecting we'd be announced.
Oh,
But very nice to be greeted.
oh, of course. I mean, if you are here to deal with the bandit problem, then the very least we can do is thank you.
Which bandits are you referring to? Those Stag Lord bandits?
She looks a little confused. Well, yes, that is who we sent.
No, that's right. We've been working our way
and-
through the Stag Lords on the way here.
Shara pulls open a pouch and pours out a handful of Stag Lord. Like, we've had some success along the way.
Oh, well then.
These pendants are from
I'm
Should we call
glad.
them former Stag Lord bandits.
I'm glad that Restov sent you. Then they should be here tomorrow morning. I'll be back in a moment. And she heads into this house over here to go and collect some food for you. You can see there is a wooden ladder that leads up on top of this, and a man comes down from it, and he walks over, and he seems noticeably less ebullient than what his, or at least more less friendly might be an easy way of putting it than his than the woman seems to be. And he says, "So you're here to deal with them then?"
We have been for quite some time already. Almost our entire journey here.
Were you sent?
In a manner of speaking, are you expecting a formal response?
Yes. Are you not the formal response sent by Restov?
No, not exactly, but Sheriff pours out the rest of the thing. There's 16 Stag Lord pendants in a pile on the table.
He seems put up by us. Go ahead, James. Sorry.
No, but we are here to solve the bandit problem. I'm not sure, and on behalf of Restov, so that's where we came from. So maybe we are talking about the same thing, perhaps. We just weren't expecting to be formally announced, as it were.
He's sort of studying you, and he says, "There is no bounty."
Yeah, we know.
But there's food.
He looks over at you. He kind of narrows his eyes as if he's like trying to place your face. No.
I smile extra big.
Food and lodgings, and a warm greeting. That sounds like payment, is it not, fellas?
Jamie, can you
More
hear
than
us?
enough payment for me.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can, yes.
Yes.
Not frozen.
Sorry
in
about
the
that.
pendant.
No, it's okay.
I'm surprised this guy isn't off-put by the lizard folk who keeps flickering in and out of existence in front of me.
He kind of leaves you guys and walks into the house, and closes the door behind him, leaving you guys out here on your own. So, anyone want to fill in Brommel on what he missed?
I can do it unless I miss something, and just anybody jump in. So we set off for our day's journey. We encountered a couple of wild boars, but thankfully we're able to avoid them on our way here. Did the 8-hour journey, arrived to the fort. It's pretty well fortified and defended by siege engines. But we were immediately greeted by a woman named Svetlana, who had us enter through like this giant main gate. And she seemed incredibly pleased to see us, and it became clear very quickly that she's under the belief that we were officially dispatched by Restov to eliminate the bandits, essentially, as our main objective. I don't know if we got the name. Did we get the name of the guy?
No, and I think the images.
He didn't say.
Hold up.
And
Go ahead, Jeff.
I would add that it seems
Can you
as
guys
though
see
the
anything
bandits
there, or
are
is it a
arriving
broken
tomorrow.
image?
That one's broken.
It's broken.
Image.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on here?
Svetlana worked though.
Ted
You know-
Oleg.
I can actually. Wonder if the
So
handouts.
Oleg.
Yeah, I may have you guys carry on. I'm gonna try and fix it. I think.
So have they been besieged by bandits? Is that the and they're thinking that we're their relief?
Yeah, and Jeff wanted to
that-
add something as well.
Oh, if I understand
been-
correctly, the bandits are arriving tomorrow?
No, the help is supposed to run. Or
But that she thinks
no,
that's
she said the
us.
bandits.
No,
Yeah. I think the bandits are arriving.
She thinks we're to help.
Yeah.
yeah. So apparently they sent a formal request to Restov to have defenders come here to help them deal with this issue. Obviously, that's not possible. That's us. We left a while ago, and obviously we on a completely different mission. And we did, however, like Shara pointed out, wipe out a bunch of the Stag Lord bandits, and he showed her the pendants to prove it, and to this guy. And she was incredibly friendly. He was kind of the opposite. And he's just the two of them have now just walked off when we first gotten our. This is our first chance to actually talk together.
Do you think the Stag Lord himself is coming tomorrow?
Perhaps this is the fortuitous situation.
We should
The
try
bandits are
to.
coming to us in their numbers, and
You
And
can give us
Ellen-
Trog a Baker lore roll if you
Yeah,
like.
Baker lore roll. I know lots about forts and the buns that are contained within.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Now that roll,
I'm
though.
going to use a hero point.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I like to.
come on, Baker.
Come on, good roll. You owe me roll 20. No! You don't owe me that junk.
Well, 20 feet.
I mean, maybe we ask them what, how many numbers typically arrive when the bandits visit. if it's like the whole unit, or if it's just a handful of them, right?
Yeah, I mean, you would just suspect that some would remain behind to guard their hideout. So probably won't be all of them, but yeah, that's a good question to ask. How many are they expecting
Oleg.
usually? There we
There's
go.
Oleg.
Yeah, he does have that look about him.
Bit down.
It's like, fuck you, guy.
He's stressed out.
Okay, Jesus. But we'll have to ask one of them. I'm assuming assuming Svetlana went to fetch us some food, because we had asked
She did
about
promise that.
Yeah.
I mean, we may not be the heroes they were looking for, but we could be the heroes they're looking for.
It's not the heroes you're looking for, but the heroes they have.
Yeah. The ones they wound up with.
Right.
This what? What is five? The magnificent five.
So they have siege equipment here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And
have
in the
catapults.
corners.
Yes.
Wonder if it's in working order. Maybe we should test it.
Good question. Yeah.
Yes, maybe we
Brommel's
should
eyes
check.
land on Trog.
Right.
So what then happens is Svetlana and Oleg come out once again, and he is muttering to himself and then goes over to that ladder and then heads back up onto the roof. And Svetlana walks over and says, and here you are. Food and wine. She brings you hearty stew, warm bread, and what looks to be a freshly opened bottle of wine. Drawwinius, you are likely the one to have a sense of that, only because of your social background. And this is not the kind of wine you would find, open on a regular basis. This is a special occasion kind of thing for this type of place. So they
do they have like their version of labels on them?
Yeah,
or anything
absolutely.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
May I see the bottle?
Oh, please.
And then I kind of take a quick look at it and I say, "This is an incredibly rare vintage. Thank you, my lady. This is more than adequate."
It is more than. Oleg has told me that you were not sent by Restov in response to our request. But he has also said that you would be willing to assist with the Stag Lord problem that we have had.
Both true.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Yes.
How
Would
many
you guys?
people know when they come around?
So was that Dave? I was talking over the first part of what you said.
Oh, sure. Just asking what we had talked about earlier. Like, how many typically show up when they come around? Is it like a dozen or 50 or?
The first time they visited, there were a dozen of them, led by a cloaked man armed with a bow and a woman who carried 2 hatchets. The woman did the majority of the talking that first trip, and she had a vicious sense of humor.
That sound familiar?
You can see that she's... why don't you guys each give us a perception check, please? Okay.
Hey! I found the food.
Okay, so... Vaz, who are we missing here? Shara?
Yeah, just waiting for it to populate. Oh,
All right, so Vaz, Drawinius, and Trog, what you can see is when she talks about being vicious, you see her hand idly go over to her one hand, and as it comes away, you can see there is a tan line where, in all likelihood, a ring once was. She then says the second time they came, it was just the hooded man. The woman with hatchets, that terrible woman, was not there. The man came with 6 other men. And at the third, it was he and only 4. I believe they think us suitably cowed, and that we do not represent a threat any longer. And you can hear the pounding on the roof above gets a little bit louder. Clearly Oleg is listening in and isn't pleased with what's being told. Hardly surprising. Wow. I can't imagine any husband would be happy to see his wife robbed, right?
No.
Well, comrades, if it's relatively few like that, I suspect we're best served with an ambush here. While this, fort has protections, it's our best approach is maybe a surprise, since if they come with these numbers, it's quite possibly manageable. So maybe our hostess behaves as normal and lets them in, and we will welcome them once they're inside the gates. I think it's important. We want to make sure they don't escape again. So if we let them get in, we should maybe shut the door behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to have a few of us on the ground so that we can defend our hostess, make sure that she is able to back away and get safety in such time.
Well, I wonder if we can even send them somewhere else, like away from the fort.
Maybe
But we
you
want
could
her to
disguise
welcome them in,
yourself.
right?
We'll need to know the protocol so that nothing looks suspicious.
They would expect me to greet them. And
I see.
Oleg.
I see.
Oleg,
We
they
just do not
expect to
wish
pay their bribe.
Okay, so would you do something similar to what you just did with us, and you both go end up inside and go get the food, and while you're inside getting the food, we'll join their friendly little party and invite them to never come back.
She catches up to what you're saying. I see. Yes. A party.
Have there ever been others here at the trading post when they've arrived? And if so, how have they interacted with those people?
Bullies.
Are they antagonistic? Yes, I see.
The very worst sort. Those, they seem to have realized that they cannot simply rob everyone here, or our trading post will no longer bring in money, but they have robbed us to the point of near poverty.
Is anyone else here at the moment?
None, as of yet. But, and she gestures across the room that she's gesturing to, we have a dormitory, and you will stay for free. Oleg is fixing leaks in the roof, but we assure you they will be comfortable and warm. And, of course, your food, you will not pay for any room or board here.
And Svetlana, do they tend to come at a certain time of day, morning or afternoon or evening? Or is it always different?
They tend to arrive in the morning for their monthly tax collection.
I see. Okay.
How long do they stay?
1 day, and then leave.
Well, it seems like we at least have some time then to prepare for their arrival.
You can
Do you
hear...
get other visitors? Perhaps a man, and then Shara will describe.
You can hear someone walk across the roof as you're about to do that too. Oleg shouts down, or it says down to you, are you expecting another companion?
Shara's like, well, we are expecting someone else to swing by, but not exactly a companion. Someone we know of, though.
He looks up at Svetlana, looks down, and back at you guys, like, he was once again like, I told you that they had ulterior motives. Someone approaches, and he goes back to work on the roof. Svetlana says, who are you expecting?
Wait, is
Man,
someone
we
just...
want to do some trading
Go
with.
ahead.
Go ahead and give us a deception check.
Technically do want to trade with them, but yeah.
That deception check failed.
Roll 0. Come on, populate.
Roll 20.
Come on. Run, you little horse. Let's go.
Do it. Roll 20.
Not that. Not that. We don't want
goodness.
you to do that. You want to hero point that?
Time is it?
You guys should have got a hero point at 8:30, but your Pathfinder, your Kingmaker was asleep at the wheel. So Unless you're at your cap, and if you're at 3, then yeah.
I will.
But that means Shara has one more. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not even going to add it to my sheet. I'm just trying to use it up.
Okay.
Go right ahead. Here we go.
Come on.
Now 20. She completely believes. Oh, a traitor, of course. We have room for them to stay as well. And she places things down. Please dig in. I'll greet your friend. And she makes her way over towards the door, or the gate, not the door. As she's walking away, you guys have an opportunity to sort of lean in as you're eating your stew and enjoying your wine to have a quick palaver with one another. Oleg is gone. You can hear the pounding on the roof, so you have some semblance of privacy.
Shira whispers, Rommel, go to the other side with Trog, and I want to be on the end where you're at.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna make myself scarce.
Where are you going, Trog? There does seem to be, so what these other buildings
Maybe over
appear to be,
here.
there's a barn over here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. There is...
Yeah, that's good enough, because then I don't feel like I'm intruding anywhere.
Well,
I'll just
there
go
is
in there and eat my
the
stew.
middens back here. So you got shit pits if you want to head over
No,
there.
does the barn stink bad?
I mean, it smells like horses. And there is a horse in there,
I
too.
can eat in there. Oh, that's good. I used to
Is there something obviously to be the bunkhouse?
That is where that Oleg is working on. That's the dormitory
sorry.
where you guys will be
bad,
staying.
yeah.
And then their house seems to be over here.
I'm okay with the barn for me.
Okay. So you heads on over and gets in there. Anyone else wish to say anything before I'll tell you when Svetlana greets the traveler.
Baz, are you staying? Are you?
I'll just hump myself down so I'm less in view.
Okay. So you're less in
I'm
view?
gonna.
Well, I'm not directly. Oh no, I am indirectly in view of the wall.
You're huge, aren't you?
Why don't you go with Brommel into the dormitory?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
You
go
guys have already talked to him once, right? We're trying to win him over.
in there.
And I
It's kind of
thought I would.
suspicious when we all got rush off and hide in the bushes, though, right?
I
Well,
don't care. They think it's suspicious.
yeah.
Okay,
Agree.
I'll do it.
And I'll refill anybody's glasses that's still at the table with me, which maybe is just Shara. Just so we can look casual.
It's like 5 glasses, and they're all full.
Okay.
I was really thirsty when we sat down. I'm not so thirsty now.
All right. So, wait, Bromwell's going in there too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't, Bromwell, you give us a stealth check, please?
Sure.
Oh no, George is leaving me to do all the talking.
You satisfied with that, or you want to hero point that?
I'll hero point that. That doesn't sit well. Oh, it'll have to sit.
It sits as it sits. All right, so the horse seems a little disturbed by your presence. You're the only non-mammal that's in here, so I think it just kind of puts it a little at ease. Cats and cucumbers and such. And when you get yourself in there, the horse seems to be making a little bit of noise, but not enough to like cause it to freak out or like kick the stall or anything like that. It does seem to settle down in the time that you hear, well, hello, please, welcome. And someone else joins, comes walking in. Shara and Drowinius, you look over, and what you can see is an individual looking like this, who comes sauntering in. He is decidedly less cool looking, only because he is very covered in the traveler's dust, like the dust of the road and whatnot. And let me put down here.
And he has fish breath.
He has horrific fish breath. Green blade.
Why do things always have a smelling?
So he makes his way in, and he says, Shar, I think you can overhear this, and Drowinius as well. I wish a bed and trade. And she says, we have both to offer here. I'm afraid things may be cramped in the dormitory, but we will have space for you. 5 coppers? And he says, kind of, you think you can hear him kind of exhale in a frustrated way and says, of course. And she says, good. Then, and I think you have friends who are expecting you as well. And his eyes sort of open wide, and he gestures over. She gestures over to you. They were seeking trade, and he stands there, staring at you, Shara, and his eyes, darting back and forth between Shara and Drowinius, and then back to Svetlana, as if trying to gauge if this is an ambush or whatnot, and the hammering on the roof certainly doesn't help ease his nerves. What is curious is that there is a pack on his back that seems to be wrapped up in some kind of burlap, the size of what a sword might be, but the only obvious weapon he has is a dagger or like a large knife at his side, and he sort of is looking at you, Shara. You've locked eyes with him, and Drowinius, you have. What would you guys like to say before he bolts, or perhaps?
I mean, I know he's
spell?
there because I know he's there because I'm listening, so I'm not looking at him yet because I don't want it to feel like suddenly everyone like and turn around to stare at him. So I know he's there. I that's not the kind of magic.
Well, if you're not looking at Shara, are you? Because you would have locked eye contact then.
I think Shara would have had like a passing glance. And I looked over and then looked back to Drowinius and sit and talk. Make it like less obvious.
Well, you did overhear her just say that there's people who are waiting for you.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, and this is what I want to do while you're maybe this is happening simultaneously.
Yeah.
Knowing that he's there, I want to put my I guess a glass of wine down, accidentally hit the side of the plate, have food spill out, and kind of go over and go, oh dear, oh no, I did it again. And just try to seem like I'm like this innocuous.
So Shara and Drowinius, why don't you guys give us stealth checks first?
Okay. Go. No.
You have a hero point.
Action point. I'm gonna hero point that.
Okay.
Well. Probably not, at least not a critical failure.
Okay. And Shara, are you?
Wait, I've clicked already. I'm just waiting for.
So Shara, you can see while Drowinius is doing this whole production, you can see that the Hungering Blade has taken a single step back.
She's like, whoa! Didn't mean to imply that we were waiting for you. Heard that other traders were coming here to the event. You're not with those Stag Lord types, are you?
Give us a diplomacy check, please.
Come on, 20. We need a 20.
Yeah.
Alright, so every time I click on a skill, it takes forever to populate the 0.
That's okay.
You have the maximum tension setting on. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Look at that! It's not 20, but it is a 20.
So he stops and kind of moves. You're not with them. And
not at all.
And Svetlana says, no, they're here to hunt them. They're here to kill them. And he looks at her and looks at you. He looks at Drowinius, who's like, oh, like it's a very obvious. Now I've accidentally soiled myself.
Yeah, Sheriff.
All right, I really do it.
Sheriff pulls the drawstring on the bag that she's holding all of the Stag pendants, and she makes sure it's kind of tight, and then she tosses it to him.
Yeah. Okay, so he catches it. Who are you?
Take a look. I am Shara, and I am out of Restov, and we've been doing some good deeds in the neighborhood, and dispatched a number of Stag Lord fellas along the way. You take a look. There's like 16 or so of their pendants. They don't come easy, that's for sure.
Trog, Brummel, and Vaz, you can overhear all this stuff through the barn, so feel free to take steps when and if you wish to make yourself known. He looks at this and looks over. Why are you here?
You want the truth of it, or a really elaborate story?
I want the simple truth.
Simple truth is my companions have already spoken to you and done a piss poor job, and we're here to help.
Trog looks at Vaz and says, yeah, he's talking about you. And his eyes sort of narrow.
I just say that's I try to get. I'm just sort of backing up Shara, just saying like, it's true. That is he's right.
We're sorry if we offended you in some way prior.
Trog Tayhide.
Yes. He means well. He just doesn't know how to have a normal conversation with an individual, and And now she's like, shut up, Ashley Trog. But okay, well, keep going with it.
Svetlana offers, I have, there is stew, there is wine, and he looks at her as if to say, like, shut up, and looks back at you. Your companion asked much and offered little. Will you demand the same of me?
I'm somebody who's good with numbers, good with accounts, and I understand that accounts need balance. You're not going to part with something valuable for a puff of smoke or promise, right?
You speak of things that have value. What of something that has no value, that cannot have a value placed on it?
Something that important.
He slowly nods his head. Something curious there.
To give up something where there is no value, you would need to have something replace it that also cannot be valued in monetary terms, correct?
It's priceless.
Security.
He looks at you, Drawinius, now that you've turned to me, yes.
I see. Yes.
And one can't put a price on safety, security, being in command of, of hardy companions and having a brotherhood.
And freedom.
People around.
All these things that you speak of are things that are transitory. What is lost can be found again. Except, he studies your eyes.
They're kind of cute, actually. No,
She looks, he says, you do not know what you ask.
I'm asking to find out what I don't know.
He looks at Svetlana, who seems utterly confused and a little scared.
She's like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, and he looks... Tayhide, are you here?
Yes. I'll come out with my bowl of stew from the...
Okay.
Just move my...
Yes, and to be completely transparent, the others are here as well. This is not an ambush. I just didn't want them to ruin what has turned out to be a perfectly good exchange between two individuals who have an idea for the meaning of things.
He gestures to Svetlana. Is what she say true? Or what she says true? You are here to slay the Stag Lord? Or his minions?
It is true.
Correction. We were not sent directly from Restov to slay the Stag Lord and his men. They have just been a severe pain every time we go somewhere, and we're doing the land a good deed every time we bump into them.
There is no magical manifestation for it. Like he's not literally on fire, but you can see at the comment of that, or at the mention of the Stag Lord, his eyes are ablaze. Sorry, George, you were going to say?
Just add to that what Shara was saying, and they are already on their way to arrive tomorrow.
He looks over at Svetlana and she nods. They will be here tomorrow.
We're kind of hoping to throw them a party that they just can't go home from.
He looks at you and you can see he's seeming to weigh things over, and he's watched as that massive orcish woman walked, across, keeping your eye on him, and then sitting down and digging into her stew. His eyes go back over to you, Trog. They're not as fearful as you would have expected, at least not as how they sounded initially.
Right. Should I join? You'll point to the table.
Svetlana says, "We have much stew, please." She gestures for him.
Please, some for our friend as well.
He looks over at, I guess, back at Shara once again, because she's been the one who's been talking. The Stag Lord's men come tomorrow morning.
Yes, and we were hoping to waylay a few more. Maybe that will draw out the Stag Lord themselves? I don't know. No one told me.
He will not be this far north. Why would you stand against these?
Why would we not? Are we to let them come here and terrorize Svetlana and Oleg further? She's clearly, I won't say traumatized, but she's clearly had a rough go in the past.
Plus, they may have information we could make use of against the Stag Lord.
You would not come for free.
It's a good point you have made.
You still haven't answered the question from earlier. What is it that can't be bought? What is it that can't be replaced?
For you.
He levels his eyes at you.
Perhaps you'd break bread first before...
Well, he can answer. He says, legacy.
Okay. A name that transcends throughout time. Or
his head
something
moves slowly as he looks over all of you. None of you would understand.
Well, we're trying to get in good with some highly folks out in Rest.
His his face goes into a snarl at the mention of Restov.
Will eliminating the Stag Lord help you? Or your legacy?
Those are two separate things. Eliminating the Stag Lord will serve me well. Serving Restov, the cowards who bent the knee to the Conqueror, that will bring my legacy nothing but. That will bring the legacy I bear nothing but dishonor.
Oh.
So, what legacy is it you're looking to create?
I'm not
The one-
looking to
the one that you
create
lost.
anything, Orc. It is something I bear.
You were born as one who should have power to. If I remember correctly, were you born to a sword lord as well?
So you guys did not hear that? It's been, you may recall, the family that carries the Hungering Blade. The father died in the
Right.
Valley of Fire.
This is Roderick Neski.
Yes. But that
He
was,
burned up with many others.
and he
but the
left his
boy
sword
fled.
behind with his infant son. This was hundreds of years back and before all of the sword lords, the Eldori sword lords, bent the knee to the Conqueror, Chorrol. But who knows what happened to his legacy? The Hungering Blade is, unlike Vaz, a half-orc.
Interesting. Well, shall we? at
Something to
least sit and
contemplate over our mid-session break.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, cool.
for those listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes, and then we will see what happens next. So. Okay. Let me get something ready. Whoa. While we're waiting here. Boom, boom. Rare, I'm my first one back. Let's see here. Hope everyone at home is having a wonderful start to their weekend. Come on, you. There we go.
So I figured out it was my USB hub that was on the fritz completely.
Oh.
So it was switching all of my sources and not behaving. So I pulled it out and everything started working again.
Huh.
So
Yeah, that's
cheap little thing.
yeah, and like a super useful trinket, but what a pain in the butt. Yeah, but that's
There's no lights on it, so I didn't know that it wasn't wasn't really acting right. So
yeah.
But the one I grabbed has lights on it, so I think we're
Good to go.
It'd be good now.
It happened. I mean, honestly, like it keeps us on our toes when we have tech issues, right? So,
yeah, I just hate to be a distraction. So sorry about that.
no, not at all. It happens, and it's really, you know, it sucks when it happens to you, but it's honestly better happening to other people than it is to you, right?
Yeah.
I think it's worse when it's your tech issue. So I completely sympathize. Okay. I think we're almost all back here. I am just getting some stuff set up here. I'm sure definitely not tokens. Surely not.
No, of course
right? Never. Oh boy. I mentioned for the folks at home, but I hope all of you guys are having a great start to your weekend as well, notwithstanding the peril you're about to find yourself in. I mean, I'm sure there's no peril, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, right now, so far it's been going good. I'm concerned about the next few minutes.
It's the next 10 to 20 minutes. That's for perhaps where...
that may make all the difference.
Okay. Let's bring myself back here. Okay. There we go. Still getting used to what... I really prefer this interface to the old one, but I still have times where I'm kind of having like brain freeze, where I'm just like, wait, or not brain freeze, but like kind of decision or indecision lock. I'm just like, where the fuck am I trying to find this thing? Like, oh yeah, it's right
Yeah.
over here. But I
know
definitely
exactly
like
what
this
you mean.
much better. I gotta say it's been running pretty well too. Like we had some camera hiccups last weekend. But like after that Friday night, everything seemed to be sorted out for the rest of the weekend, and then the program itself in Roll20's been rolling great, with the exception of the character sheets in Rogue Trader.
Oh,
any of the tiered or cascaded skills, it just won't roll them when we're playing in Firefox. But anyway, I think we're all back now, so let's jump right back in here. So that was a revelation from the Hungering Blade. Trog, you did not know this before.
No, I did not know this before.
It does seem to make a lot of sense, though.
Absolutely.
The way that he carried himself before, the specific connection that he had to that, to that blade. The Hungering Blade, incidentally, is not a name he called himself. It was a name that people called him.
Right.
And I was wondering about that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And so when we heard of the Hungering Blade earlier, did we actually hear that he was a bandit, or did we just hear that he was doing things that were outside of the local law enforcement's?
You heard bandit, for sure.
We heard bandit, okay.
He did have connections to some of the soldiery, at Fort Serenco. That's why you guys traveled there in the first place, because there was apparently someone exchanging messages, and the Sword Lord had, or not the Sword Lord, it was that halfling woman, the halfling mastermind. Where is she? Where is she?
And so the revelation that we got just before the break was that he's potentially a descendant of a previous Sword Lord.
Yeah,
right.
This blade is actually his family blade.
Yeah, I had suspected that all along, based on what we had learned, and that literally is from session 1. So it's not surprising to Darwin. It's just more like, yeah, my suspicion.
What was the family name?
Neskey. I have Neskey, I believe.
Let's see here.
And it was Roderick Neskey, Sword Lord of Restov. He carried a sword of great power, cold lightning, the blue gem.
Yep.
And the son was born on the day that I believe that the Conqueror showed up. And he left the sword for his son, while he wound up dying in the Valley of Fire and getting burned up with lots of others.
Yeah.
And both the sword and the boy fled. And that was the last that was...
Although I think Brommel might be a secret Sword Lord too, because it's twice he's asked about going to the Valley of Fire. So, I hear the siren song of the Valley of Fire. The Valley of Fire was named so because of the they did not realize that the Conqueror had dragons. There is a fairly popular series that has influenced this setting before it became a TV show, before it became like the most popular TV show on TV. So
MASH.
MASH, exactly.
Oh, wait, no.
Yep. Yep. And like MASH, this campaign pack will never end because the
We'll just get really old and be replaced by
I mean, we'll run some other really interesting stuff too. It'll probably a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of fantasy, but we'll never really get back to this. So
Yeah, that sounds good.
But yes, so what do you guys say? You need not make a roll, share. Oh, sorry, George, go ahead.
I think Jordan just says, like, please come and join us, eat with us. This wine is amazing. You must try some. He's just trying to, put forward this like kind of positivity.
His eyes fall back on Shara once again.
She says, in light of new information, I can't speak for my friends, but I'm less driven to what we had agreed to when we left Restov.
You agreed someone in Restov wishes my sword?
Indeed.
Who?
I don't remember the name.
Oh, it's on the handout that I showed a moment ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lorana Rubblewood?
Lorana Rubblewood, yeah. Because it was her, and then she had the two companions too, Eatrix Fogfollow and Quinry Hogbottle.
Yeah.
I don't mind saying I had a lot of fun making those names.
Yeah,
So-
I'm like,
For somebody who leans towards mostly like, horror tinged and fairly violent, things, I do really love me an adorable name for a halfling or a gnome.
Lorena Rubblewood and her companions, and from what we gathered,
Guys. I scrolled through a lore check forum with my Colonia dice.
what? Can you please give me the URL for that site, please?
Yeah. Oh my god! I gotta check
BustedDice.com.
online to see. I said this last time, but I didn't look. I really don't know if it is a jack dice, if it is, or not jack, like a loaded dice. Given like gambling and whatnot is such a big part of that setting, it would be fucking hilarious if they sold one without telling anyone that it was a loaded dice.
Actually, that would be great.
Oh my gosh!
With a little sub note: don't use this against your player.
No, I set that one aside after I stopped making secret rolls for the heroes. So his eye sort of locks on, and he says, "What does a criminal like her wish of my sword?"
She's looking for a seat at the table with those you mentioned bended the knee, as I understand. And she thinks that having this sword will give her such.
She thinks buying her way with something plundered from a lost... Wait. They would never make one such as her a sword lord. What is it she wished to buy favor from them for?
Perhaps she's trying to put somebody in place? And Shara kind of shakes her head and says, but...
Well, let's just go out of character for a moment. Do you remember why you guys wanted the
competition.
sword? This has been months since you guys had that conversation with Lorana.
But we're wanting access to be in with the for the what is it? Get the letter of marque to go out, and so we want to be selected to be one of the privateers, as it were. I know it's on land, but it's close as I can get.
There's only going to be certain adventurers who are asked to participate in the drawing of lots or whatnot for the different marks that are apparently going to be given out to expand the Aldori power out down south. That would be directly in contrast and be a rival to the throne in the capital. I can't remember what the
Pitax or
Pitax. Yeah. Thank you. Pitax is the capital. It's where Chorl's descendants have ruled, but since they've gone missing, his entire family just went missing one night. Seems that the Aldori in Restov may be wishing to cast off the yoke. You may remember that there was two separate rival nations prior to the arrival of the Conqueror. He's the one that forced everyone to sort of be together. I believe it's the Ishins and the Aldori. They're only one nation now because of the Conqueror. And
so really, what Restov are looking to do is rather in line with the Hungering Blade's desire to throw off the yoke.
It's a rebellion, seems.
It's a very indirect way of creating a rebellion. You're not casting off the things. You're just shifting the center of power. So I want to go to character so you remember why you're going to look in that, because Shara would certainly know that. It's just I don't expect Dave to have clear recollection of pretend politics we talked about 7 months ago.
Not only has it been a long time, but I don't know the setting very well. So
yeah.
Okay. I think Shara wants to try and get that message across without getting into all the details of stuff. But essentially we're trying to support Rubelwood so that we can have a seat at the table and help with this new, I don't say form of government, but anti-colonial government and helping others.
Anyone else can jump in as well.
Yeah.
So maybe we don't need to go through Rubelwood, I'll say. Maybe you would be interested in such a venture as well. Expanding, carving out a kingdom against the oppressors.
He looks at you, and why would they accept one of our kind?
if we're if we deliver what they need. I don't intend to be a servant forever.
True. Anyone can give us a society roll as well. That's the one that fills in for history in here. So, Drowinius, remember that the Sword Lords are the epic heroes of the Eldori. One of the reasons why she thought that bring in 17. So you all sort of share lock eyes and remember like one of the, she thinks like part of the reason is not just a matter of like, oh, here's an expensive trinket. It is a symbolic thing. That's the way that she was intending on it being, is a symbolic return of a lost house at the outset of this expedition.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it need to be symbolic? If someone from a lost house could potentially step up.
Yes, precisely.
We
Legacy.
bring him back, not the sword.
Both.
If you are of the legacy that we are in, understanding, that perhaps the Nesty family could rise again.
He looks at you and his eyes are going from one of you to another to like Trog, you probably know him best. Well, you certainly know him best at this too. He seems almost stunned by this possibility. And if you look up and over from your food, he looks and says, "And why are you in with them?"
I'm attempting a new start, and this seemed like a wonderful way to get that.
Shara raises her cup and leans over towards Trog and says, "Second chances."
The baking industry is not going well, friend. For me.
It has not been well for me either. You face the Stag Lord's men tomorrow.
We do.
We'll speak no more of legacy and dead family. We will have meals, we will plan, we will face the Stag Lord's brood. And when they are cold, then we will think of loftier ambitions.
Excellent.
So, at that, Svetlana, you can hear Oleg has been listening in this whole time. He stopped his hammering. And then as soon as he goes over and sits down, the hammering starts up once again. And you guys are left with, when he sits down, he spares a look over at you, Vaz. Nods at you, Trog.
Brahma, you coming back out?
Yeah.
It would seem that we have a sword lord on our side now. I'm told this is the good wine, and he passes it over to him. He
sort of, what a half-orc can do with a blush. It says, "How would I know any more than you to hide?" He puts it down. If it's drink, it's drink. And places it down. Svetlana comes back with stew for him, places it down. Then he looks up. He gestures, or tosses, I guess, down the amulets that you guys have recovered from the other Stag Lord minions. But what is our plan, then?
We let
We let Svetlana invite them in, and as they settle down, thinking they're going to pillage the place, we give them a little surprise.
An ambush.
With the doors shut.
Old-fashioned ambush.
Cannot let any escape.
He looks over at Trog. I think we have some familiarity with those tactics.
Yes.
And he sort of clears shit out on the table. And in the film version of our campaign, the camera would sweep over and he would begin placing things down. It would slowly fade into the layout of the thing the following day. So we'd see, where do you guys foresee? You can imagine yourselves planning this out. Where would you place yourselves for when Svetlana is in there? She is the salt shaker. I'm assuming she's going to go there. Oleg. Where would you like Oleg? He is the pepper shaker.
Well, normally doing what they're doing. If it's easiest for him to be up on the roof hammering like he was today, because that's what needs to be done, and then sure, he doesn't need to be in the fight. And Svetlana, when she goes into the kitchen, doesn't have to come back out.
And lock the door.
I was thinking that Shara would stay at the table because she could look like a pretty normal trader, traveler, or whatever, right? Throw on a cloak or something like that, and bunch of burlap or something sitting beside her, and she looks like she's there to do some business. And the rest of the folks could be either on roofs or in other doorways. If Baz wants to come out of the kitchen not carrying stew and a giant polearm, I'm okay with that.
I am small. I can hide up on one of the
Roofs?
siege walls and burn anyone who attempts to flee.
Yes, I am also good at a distance, so perhaps I will be on a different rooftop, depending on what angles we need to cover.
Assuming
Perhaps
it's
maybe,
like ladder.
maybe on this, up on there, maybe.
Yeah.
And if there is some...
Oh, whoops, I put myself inside a building. Sorry. But on top of that structure is what my plan would be.
That would be, I mean, it's got a regular roof on it, too. All the buildings, you can assume, have a regular roof on them.
Do you think it's something that I could be on the...
Yeah, you'd be up top there. It's just that you're probably going to want to be hidden at first. Otherwise, the wizard-looking fella lurking on the roof might,
What? Isn't that like a normal everyday?
That's a scarecrow.
Wizards on the roof.
We're keeping the
exactly.
You put an owl on a roof when you want to keep birds away. You put a wizard on a roof when you want to keep crows away. I mean,
that's right.
Any good merchant knows that.
Yeah, and they eat the wizard and they go away. It works out great. I will be stealthy up there until the time becomes necessary.
Vaz, are you on the ground floor there, or are you on the ramparts?
Because the roof is how high up? It's 10
feet.
So that must... Now, the top of it's 10 feet, so is that, like...
You're probably 10 feet up, yeah.
10 feet up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just be there, but I'll just lie down. I'll have a nice rest down there, and I'm going to stay out of sight that way.
Okay, and then how are you planning on getting down?
Now, that's what I was wondering about. Is there some rope where I can just... there's
over the space underneath them too, so if you want to be concealed underneath, you could do that as well. If you prefer to kind of like swashbuckle it all the way down, you certainly can find a way to do that. They do have ample amounts of rope. It's like 70 feet of rope in the storeroom.
Now, if I can put myself down, because I want to block the doorway once they're in, but I want to be out of sight, so I'll only come out once I hear that things are getting spicy.
Let me just double check how...
I was hoping you'd be closer, to be honest. Like a doorway and a couple of paces away. If you have to run far, then, I could be bleeding at the time of your arrival.
Depending how much time you wish between when they are spotted and when they come in, the Hungering Blade could make you invisible for up to 10 minutes.
Well, that's nice.
Wow.
That's a very good idea.
the time would be everything there, and they would certainly recognize him.
Good idea. If you can use some of your arcane, not that I hold with magic entirely, but in this case,
it's pretty funny about. I'm not sure about his magic. I can make you invisible. Really? I have dramatically misjudged this.
exactly. Once I can see a knacking opportunity, it's and maybe you want to join me on that. Now we will prevent the vermin from escaping.
He snarls happily. What about the rest of you guys?
I think Brahma wants to be in sword range, ultimately, if he can be. Is it possible to hide under the cart?
Yeah.
I think that might be where he'd
or
like
in
to.
the cart too. They could put hay and stuff in there if you wish to hide it in.
That would be good.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Are there doorways we could just be in around?
Yeah.
Like
Any one of the
like,
buildings. I don't know if you could see. Hold on. Let me take a look at this map. There's the lighting. Let me open some doors for you.
Gonna say because it might be like we're making this really elaborate, like hiding and turning invisible. But if we're just in rooms and we just walk out,
Yeah.
couldn't that?
Yeah, I've groused before about Roll20's maps. These are pretty fucking good. They did a really good job on the Kingmaker stuff.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
None of the weird gaps you see in our Legacy of the Crystal Shard game.
Oh yeah. And did we get 0 points at 9 and 9:30?
You did.
We're gonna need them.
You're gonna need them.
I think
Yes.
I am planning on kicking the living shit out of you. I mean,
I got a special dice just calling your guy's name.
that's right.
oh yeah, right.
Play again.
All 5 of us here.
I gotta get that game to the table before end of year.
Did the dice come with the Kickstarter, Kevin?
The
or
most
how did it
recent
work?
Kickstarter, yeah.
Okay,
The
yeah.
most recent for the Empire Wax Back.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
It's just for someone inclined towards puns anyway, or any kind of like fun-sounding Easter eggs. Like that game is really written for me, and it helps. It's also just got gorgeous art in it too.
Yeah.
And it's spaghetti western inspired too. My dad was a big Sergio Leone fan, so
Oh, yeah.
fucking love it because there's lots of like they use Tupo and Blondie and whatnot as kind of references of how the types of characters you'd play in it.
That's
It's
awesome.
pretty awesome. Tupo, I hope I got that name wrong, or right, but.
No, that's right. I'm pretty sure that's right.
Okay, so I got the doors all open to all the buildings, so you should be able to see what everything is. Let me tell you what assets you may have to draw on as well. This is the segue into the third act for every A-Team episode. You guys have 70 feet of rope, a hooded lantern, firewood, a tent, and a bunch of food. Oh, 2 barrels of drinking water and a half barrel of lantern oil. 12 candles, 3 lamps, and a week's worth of firewood.
We're gonna attach the firewood to the ropes, and it's gonna swing down when they come up the stairs.
Yep. So
I want to ask the Hungering Sword what we should call him, what he prefers to be addressed as.
You can call me Ulagar.
Ulagor.
Interesting.
Ulagor, do you wish to be the one to spring the trap on them, as you owe them the most?
To close the door, you mean?
To be the one to reveal that they have walked themselves into a trap and a trap that you are a part of.
He looks around the table just to judge everyone's sort of response to that suggestion. What does he see?
I mean, Drog's like suggesting it, so
Yeah.
he's in. What do you guys think?
Seems
I think
good to me.
Cheryl's like a little disappointed. She wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But she nods. Reluctant nodding.
Drawinius?
Yeah, I mean, this sounds good to me.
Vaz?
Sounds good.
Brahmo?
So be it.
So he grins, and once again you can see that there's orcish tusks. Yes. I would like that a great deal.
Thought you might.
But he looks at Vaz, but I suspect your surprise will be most enjoyable as well.
I look forward to some fun here.
So Brahma's going to be hidden in the what do you call it? The cart. Trog is going to be on the second floor. Vaz is going to be on the ground floor, but invisible. Is that right?
Yep.
Shara is going to be at the table having a sandwich. And Drawinius is going to be on the roof, concealed.
Correct. That's right.
Okay. I love the comedic setup here. It's going to be great.
Now, to be clear, Kev, we're getting a rest here at this place that would remove fatigue.
100%. You get a full night's rest, so you're going to drop. Anyone who is fatigued
nice.
will be able to remove it.
Okay.
That's great.
You also have a belly full of stew. And I think if you
Nice.
ask her for the recipe, you may be able to add it to your repertoire.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Then, anything else you guys wish to discuss tonight or prepare tonight?
Sheriff says, so if they ask me for money, am I allowed to ask how much? Because I really, really want to tell them, like, whatever amount they're asking for is such a pittance given how dangerous their job is. No? No? Okay, I'll just leave that alone.
Shara's got a one-liner that's kind of chambered and ready, but it's going to be a fuck of a thing to work into a conversation.
Just, never mind.
What do you want them to say?
No, she's just like, if they ask for like, it'll be 20 gold or something like that, or 40 silvers. She was like, well, that's it. That's all you want? Wow, such dangerous work, and you're asking for such little money. Like, make it kind of sound like a bit of a threat, but not quite.
Okay. All right, then if there's anything else you guys wish to discuss before tomorrow, I think you can refresh all your class resources. Go ahead, George, you had your hand up.
One quick thing I think we should discuss prior to retiring for the night is what our objectives are. Are we intending to kill them all, have them all be dead by the end of this? Or are we intending to try to keep one of them alive to get some further information about the Stag Lord and, whatever other resources he may or may not have at this point? Do we have, just so we know if we're like not pulling any punches or if we're just going for it?
What is pulling a punch, Darwinius?
It is. I have not actually done it myself, but I have read about it, and it means before your hand. No, what's this called? Fist. Yes. Before the fist actually hits your intended target, you arrest its flight through the air.
Do you know how to make fire burn slightly less?
I will think about it tonight. Perhaps
Okay.
I can. Fire is chaos, but there's always a pattern in chaos.
Maybe
so
you could
there
hold
must
a
be
bucket
a
of
way.
water to put them out before they burn to death.
Not all of us are using fire, and some of us can do non-lethal damage.
Ah, so should I not burn them?
Well, I think we definitely do want to keep one of them alive, and in a condition that they can be coherent.
Why don't one of you grab them and then
Ulgor
I'll know
says
not
to
to
what
burn
end?
them?
Just to possibly learn more of the Stag Lord's whereabouts if he should not be with them.
Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility they could be nearby. And if they discover that we have killed many of their companions, they may decide to follow us, and we have an important appointment to make, and not much time.
Or they
Well, I
may
think-
avenge themselves on these people in your absence.
That is not a good point.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
Maybe
think we should not let any leave.
Well, even if we don't let any leave, reprisal may come when we're gone.
I think
Yeah.
what you hope to gain from leaving one alive can be gained before they die.
Interesting.
The bandit way.
He grins at you, Trog.
But you were a baker, Frog.
I've had many bandits shop at my bakery.
Ulgor laughs.
Gary knows a secret or two about Trog.
Yeah.
Then,
I like how everybody calls Trog the bandit and forgets that Shara and him traveled together and
Yeah, totally. Like, you're just as guilty as me.
no one throws her into that boat. It's like, oh yeah.
True.
Sarah's like, I don't know how Trog lives with himself. Really don't.
honestly, he must lay awake every single night, hearing the screams of his victims.
So who will act first in our sequence? If there is a trigger event?
I thought that's what we had agreed, that Ulagor would be the trigger.
Yeah. He's gonna taunt them or say something witty, perhaps. Once they realize their demise is ultimately unavoidable, we just make it happen.
Very well. We'll follow his lead.
Is there a keyword, Ulagor, that you're going to use?
He grins, both tusks displayed now. You will know.
Okay. There you go, Brommel.
Plus, if you are confused, there will be fire to follow.
And a rig. And a polearm.
Okay. Then, anything else you guys wish to do?
I don't think so.
And we cut to the following morning. A seemingly quiet morning at Oleg's trading post. Shara is enjoying breakfast, having just been served by Svetlana. And you hear, think Oleg comes scrambling down from a watch point and says, "They're coming. There are 9 of them." Yep, that is the wrong layer. Still, that's also the wrong layer. That is the right layer. Their iconography for like what layer is what is very confusing. Cross swords is the tokens. What looks to be a robot is the GM layer. There's the lighting layer is a sun, which makes sense. And there's something that I guess is supposed to be like a square map kind of thing is the map layer. So it's very...
It sounds like they're looking to remove the DM from the equation, and it'll be all AI, and you won't need to know what any of the symbols mean.
Yeah, I guess that is...
Because you're a robot in this
It
version.
certainly, yeah, it certainly seems that, yeah. I mean, good on him for like a, kind of absurdist approach to layering. And what we make for GMs? Robots. And what about the map layer? Squares. Yeah, all right. That okay. And for the token layer, crossed swords. Yeah, oh, that makes because they're fighting on that layer. No, because it's the token layer. Right. All right. And scene. Okay, so here we go. This is what comes marching in. Many more than before. And when they are not far off, that is when Ulagor casts his magic and Vaz. You can no longer see the end of your polearm. And he hustles over to join Brommel, where he has been hidden. And Haps Bryden is the lead here. And I think I've got a handout for the legendary Haps Bryden. I think I may have misspoken. I think. Haps, where are you, buddy? You seem to have spoken out of turn. But, to the transmogrifier, guys. So if we're going to have this handout, it's not like I'm going to be able to keep using this handout. He doesn't become a lich until book 3. I mean, he's never a lich, guys. Don't...
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it's someone else who becomes a... I mean, there's no liches. Oh. All right. Handouts, here we go. Where are you, buddy? Haha! Totally worth it. Cool. Okay. This is what Haps looks like. I think you guys may recognize that from Night Below, because I'm pretty sure I've used his illustration for someone in Night Below at some point.
Given the length of the campaign and the number of illustrations you got to use, Kev, it's got to happen.
Right.
So there is Haps Bryden. He is the lead of a band of 8 of these, and he is Oleg. It's time for taxes. And Oleg says, very well. And Svetlana says, food, then? And he says, oh, yes. Oh, yes. Very hungry. Hunting. Haven't we been, boys? Oh, and what have we here? And Svetlana says, she's just a customer. Oh, just a customer. A traveler, are you, ma'am? Dangerous. These roads can be quite dangerous. He comes over and sits down across from you, and his men crowd around. Pretty thing to be on your road by yourself. And Svetlana says, oh, leave him be. And he draws a sword and points it at her and says, you will speak when I ask you to. Keep your woman in line, Oleg. She may hurt herself. And the two of them go inside their home. And these guys are all creeping around you, Shara.
Shara looks rightfully frightened because she's now surrounded by like 8 individuals.
And what's your name? Such a lovely thing to be on the road. On her own?
No, I was with another group earlier. But clearly they should have stayed longer.
Left you behind, are you? Well, we can't have a lost... we cannot have a lost foundling on her own. Do you think the Lord, the Stag Lord, would like that, boys? One of them grabs kind of strands of your hair and starts kind of picking it up.
Shara pulls the dagger and stabs a piece of bread and goes, "Will you break bread with me?"
He leans in, the sword still in his hand, and Hap says, "I'd like to break something else of yours."
My heart, probably. My heart.
I'll only borrow that, girl. Vaz, you're free to spring your trap whenever you choose.
Yep. So I will. First of all, get there.
Do you make any effort to make it sound, to make it quiet, or are you kind of going for effect here?
Yeah, I will just slam the doors. Why not? Let's.
Haps and his men all look over. And I think, why don't we all click on tokens and go ahead and click on initiative.
That's my favorite.
I'm going to copy one of these guys, put them outside so that you guys don't ruin my initiative order by killing my...
Right.
Let's see here. And Uligor. All right. We have a lot of people. Lot of people. Let's see, do I have my stats in here? I do. I do.
And is it perception, or do we use something else?
Yeah,
like
perception. No. Stealth. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like for those that are hidden.
For those that are hidden, yeah. Which I think everyone other than Sharon.
Right.
Can I use deception?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use deception for sure. Yeah.
Innocent? I don't know. It's probably not it's not a numerical advantage. But
No, I buy, you can use any skill for initiative that makes sense. I'd totally buy that. That's great.
playing the innocent and helpless traitor.
Yeah, so. I buy that. Okay. The Grito Banditos. And Uligor. Uligor. Oh my god. Oh. So, I think that's everybody. Descending. Do I have everyone in there? Oh, we're waiting for Shara.
Yeah, I clicked it.
It's probably already rolled.
Yeah, it was rolled last Tuesday. It's just maybe it's way in. All right, so what?
This works just fine.
Last action was Vaz slamming the door, and then that is where Uligor lands down, and so it would be one action to get up and down. Oh, and then he says, "What was the last thing you said, Shara?"
She asked if they would break bread.
Oh, break bread, and then he said something about breaking her heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
he was gonna break her heart. He's only gonna use that temporary.
Yeah. And so Uligor steps out, and that sword in his hand, he says simply to Haps, "We'll deliver yours from your chest to your master!" And he unleashes Nat 1 on his attack, slams a firebolt into Shara. I'm kidding, he's going to spend a hero point. All right, 17, that's a little better. Would someone kindly give us let's see here. trying to remember, scaling in this game is much faster than in 5e. So let's see here. Black tentacles. Yeah. It is not called Firebolt. It is called Produce Flame, I think. Right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. Would you kindly give us a 2D... sure, go ahead and roll 2D4, please. Oh, sorry, Dave. Sorry, I forgot you got the delay. I mean to make a joke of it.
But it is funny now.
Yeah.
I rolled those dice last session, and they're still coming.
They're coming.
Whenever you do it, they have to write the code, then debug it, test it a few times, and then they send out the answer.
It's like the DMV of digital code. No, unfortunately, you didn't follow this form here, so you got to go back and fill that out. Instead, this is supposed to be a blue form. You brought me a pink form. So, oh no, it showed up. Never mind. There you go. Turns out you did the blue form. All right, so he tags him with flame, but he's got some pretty keen reflexes at Haps, and he's able to move slightly out of the way. But then Haps' turn. He is gonna leap up and race over. And he's going to attack Uligor. I should probably give Uligor. Now that's a 2, and he does not have hero points. So let's give Uligor his hit points here. And I got to go in and adjust the default settings in this campaign. I'm going to write that down. Fix, token, settings, dummy. I think I've talked about this for 11 sessions.
I think you mean fixed sword settings.
Yeah, exactly. Sword settings. Good callback. All right, then it is Drowinius. What are you doing?
So I'm up on the top of the roof here, and I've been
you were kind
trying
of
to be
prone
stealthy.
down, I'm assuming? So you have to spend one action to get up?
Yep. So that's what I'm doing. Spending one action to get up, and I don't want to waste my magic missile because I only be able to cast 2 magic missiles with 2 actions left. So instead, I'm going to cast my Force Bolt, which is my focus spell.
Against whom?
Sorry. Is there anybody that I can't? So I can't actually see anything, me personally, because I'm inside the building.
Oh, hold up. Did we not have? I was trying to. There you go. Can you see now?
Yes. Okay. Great. Okay.
Just teetering on the edge.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you inspired an Aerosmith song. But
I'm teetering on the edge. Okay. So, all right. I'm going to target this guy here just because I see.
That's Haps Bryden.
So,
the other ones, the ones surrounding Shara, are the other bandits.
Okay, so I see the Shara surrounded. That's what's more important to me at the moment. So I'm going to, since this is something I can do as an automatic hit, I will target this one here directly to her east.
How much damage?
And here comes. It's only 1 action spell, so it's a.
Oh, she'll still one more action then.
Yes, and I'm going to use Shield with my 3rd action, which is also a 1 action spell.
And you're using which is a 3rd? Oh, shield, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, Vaz, what are you doing? You are still invisible.
So I'm going to move up here.
Okay.
And lay down some pain.
On Haps or on the
on Haps.
On Haps, yeah. Okay, so he'll be flat-footed because he has no idea what's about to happen to him.
So let's enlighten him.
Vaz is the one that has that spend 2 actions to do 1 attack to do more damage thing, or power attack, or is that?
No, this is my what's it called?
The unerring
exacting
strike.
Exacting strike.
Right.
So it's a 1 action.
Okay.
But if I miss, I don't have a penalty.
Okay. That is a hit. He's flat-footed, which means it's not a crit. You want a hero point that? Fish for a crit? And will it make a difference if you have another hero point? Because it's 10 o'clock my time.
Okay.
How'd you roll?
Let me.
Well, you roll 13, so maybe that is pretty good.
No, I'll just hit with that, and then I
Okay.
will go with the second strike.
All right.
Anyway.
And you suddenly appear. Now that one, would you like to hero point that?
Yeah, let's hero point that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even flat-footed, that's not quite good enough. Nope, that is. Ignore me. I am a vicious liar. And Haps is dead.
Well,
Seeing scorch marks and you running in, he is gone. Brommel, what are you doing?
Wow, that was effective.
That was a brief legend.
Yeah, Brommel is going to follow Ulugor out of the cart,
Yep.
and that's one action, right? To
Yeah,
to
one
get
action
up and down?
one action to just drop down there.
Okay, and then his second action, he will approach the bandit at the bench and attack this middle or
Go
bandit
right
here.
ahead.
All right.
Can't. Come on, big money. Solid hit. And a near crit too. And that is enough. What does it look like as you take this first bandit down?
Oh, I think he probably barely had time to even spin around from his seated position when Brommel came up behind him and just chopped right through his side.
Brilliant. All right. Then it is Bandito's turn. Okay. Tiempo Bandito, I think is what we decided last time. Okay, so they are drawing the one next to you. One action to draw the dagger, another action to try and apply said dagger to your ribs. That is a 15. Does that hit you?
Is that on Brommel?
On Brommel, yeah.
That is a 15 as a hit.
Ah, oh, that is 4 points of damage.
Okay.
And then for he'll do a second attack with that. So it'll be +1. That is a 7. Not going to be good enough. The one behind you, Shara, is going to, that was hit with the force bolt, is going to try and grab you. 19. Holy shit. So that is a 24 for a grapple attempt here. It's your what's your fortitude bonus?
Fortitude bonus?
Yeah. Your save. It's on the center in the top.
T5?
Okay, 5 is your bonus. As I was trained, is what that means. All right, then. Grapple. Here we go. All right, so 15. That's oh god, I was one shy of getting a crit on you. So he has grabbed you. We'll do grab for green. It'll call back we haven't used in a while. Oh, it's almost like we're back to the dungeon grappling days, huh? And then. I think he's going to draw the dagger as a second action, and he's going to hold it at your throat. As it's not a ready action because he doesn't know if the action's left at that. But so he's just decided he's going to try and fight you. This other one is going to leap up as his first action, go across the table here, and his final second action is to draw the dagger and come down on you, Rommel. It's a 20. That's a 4 points of damage on you. So I'm going to draw a dagger race over here. You get an attack of opportunity, Vaz, if you choose to.
I will indeed.
Okay.
Smacky, smacky. Sorry, let me.
That's a miss. You want to hero point that?
Yep.
Okay.
Let me.
So, he actually that is good enough.
Disappointing.
It's good enough to hit. Unfortunately, not good enough to kill. So you tag him as he's coming in with that dagger drawn. Still, come on, pal. Give me your hit points. There we go. And then he. 21.
That hits.
It hits. Okay, that is once again. Oh, here, I didn't fucking roll that. That is a 5 points of damage. Another one draws a dagger, and we'll run over to you as well, Vaz. The 19. I don't think that hits, right?
That's a hit.
That's a hit. Fuck. Right, because you're wearing like leather armor still, right?
No, that's all I've got. 18 is with chainmail.
Oh, okay. 5 points of damage once again, and then. This one is going to, just to the north of you, Shara, is going to draw a dagger and then ready an action to attack you if you take any action. And then this one is going to race over to Brommel, draw a sword or dagger. How come Brommel's the tank every time?
I don't know. I don't know.
There's a Jack Dice.
Jamie made his character wrong.
I did.
That's the high initiative each time. You guess you out there first, and then the bad guys get to attack. Does a 16 hit you, Brommel?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's 5 points of damage again.
Okay.
Okay, so Brommel's getting ganged up on here. Then it is Shara's turn. What are you doing, Shara?
Well, she's not going to just sit here and do nothing because he's got a dagger. Like, come on. So she's going to attempt to intimidate the one who just drew the dagger that's above her.
Yeah, yep. So you are currently
Grappled.
It's not. Is it grappled? Grabbed. You're immobilized and you're flat-footed. If you attempt to a manipulate action, you must succeed at a DC 5 flat check or it's lost.
Okay, well, she's trying to gain panache.
Yeah, I don't think that intimidate is a manipulate action. So go ahead and give us an intimidate check against his wisdom. Or his wisdom, his will save.
Okay, I did also click the... Yep.
You clicked on intimidate?
Yep. It's coming.
Okay.
I'm sending it via carrier pigeon.
Exactly. Unfortunately, he also fed it a beer beforehand. Hey, look at that. Critical success. The target becomes frightened too. What is it you say to him?
Garrett's like, I think you're holding that dagger from the wrong end, you fool.
Is it the one with the ready action, or is it the one with that's grappled you?
The one with the ready to action.
Yeah, you got it. Okay, so here it'll be Yella, because he's frightened too.
Okay.
He kind of is shocked at this sudden, scary and determined young woman. You have 2 more actions. What are you doing?
Okay, can she still wield a weapon? It has to be small or
I think
agile?
You are so grabbed is one of those Matryoshka doll things, so you are also immobilized, which means you can't move. You're flat-footed. I think you can draw a weapon still.
I think
Okay.
that's right too.
That'll be a manipulate action. Yeah.
I was just wondering because she had said
Is drawing a weapon a manipulate action?
Well, she had used a dagger to poke the bread.
Oh yes, you have a dagger in hand. Yeah,
So I'm wondering, can I wield that as a weapon?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's
Let's
not
use
a
the
manipulate action, actually. Who are you attacking? The one who's grappling you, or
No, the one that
scared?
Here, yeah.
Okay, so he does get to take his rated action as a reaction, but he's got -2 to hit because you've scared him.
Okay.
Okay, and I missed. There's no way that's a hit. That's a 11. So go ahead and make your attack.
I was queuing it up just in case, because it could take a while.
Yeah, no problem.
speed up the process.
Nat 1. I'm gonna guess you're gonna hero point that.
Yep.
You hit him with the bread instead of the knife.
Stabbed him with words. It didn't work. I'm gonna try again with the dagger.
What's supposed to use, man? Harsh language?
Oh, the harsh language is only the opening, and then I got to follow up with the actual weapon. Oh, sorry. I insulted his mother this time, and he just kind of stared at me.
All right, let's see. Here it comes. Big money.
Okay.
$12. Because of his frightened condition is good enough. Go ahead and roll damage.
Nice.
And remember, you get to add whatever your, because you have panache now. You do what, like 2 extra damage?
Plus 2 damage.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage, and we'll add plus 2. Oh, you already did.
Yeah.
That is 4, 5, 6 damage. Oh! You have one more action. What would you like to do?
That can attack. Why not?
Yep.
You know, 1 dagger to the chest is enough to take him down. So,
Yep. Go right ahead. Stabby. Next up will be Trog after this.
Yes.
Fire. I'm guessing something is going to be set on fire here.
Fire, liar, drugs on fire. I hit 10, but
I'm sure it's coming.
there you go.
19 worth of weight.
Yeah.
2 vicious motions, and that guy is down. Then it is Trog's turn. What are you doing, Trog?
Gonna move right to the edge. Oops.
Okay.
And not click that. Excuse me. And then he is
Disney
using
like, and like woo, 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 woo on the edge.
elemental toss.
Oof. Who is he trying to hit?
Yeah.
Wow.
This guy here trying to clear a path for Vaz.
Sure, yeah. So that is 6 points of fire damage, and I think you have one more action.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna jump down. Not this turn, anyway. Maybe I'll climb down carefully next turn.
All right, then it is Uligor's turn. Uligor will step forward and make an attack. Hold on, I should roll the Brancalonia dice for him.
No.
I'm not fucking kidding. Nat 20.
No.
Look, I genuinely can't use this anymore.
That's-
It must be fucking
I gotta
balanced
get
funny.
Yeah, that's loaded.
Oh,
It
hilarious.
has to be. It's the only thing that makes
I
sense.
love that.
It must. God, that's so funny. I'm gonna check online to see if that's the case.
Yeah.
So after he staggers back from where the Trog's fire hits him, Uligor comes in, and with that sword with lightning kind of running across this tip that cuts the guy down. And then he does very similar to what you do. And there's a shield up in front of him. Drawinius, what are you doing?
So I am going to use my full complement of actions to cast my one of my 2 magic missile spells
Okay.
that I can cast in a day.
Now, who are you targeting with your missiles?
Oh, sorry, the same guy.
That was
This
grappling
right here.
Shara?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one who had the
12
force
points of
bolts.
damage.
Yeah.
Shara, you are no longer grappled.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. And that's all I can do. That's 3
Okay.
actions.
Vaz, what are you doing?
I shall. Funnily, I'll hit the guy who's down and to the right of Brummel.
Okay. Not the injured one adjacent to you.
No, I'll hit him with my next one, possibly. It's just I'm more likely to get crit on this and take
You've
him
got
out.
one coming, boy. That is a solid hit. Schwack! Bloody gash across the back of this bandit. Not quite enough to take him down yet. 2
Then
more
I'll
actions.
I'll take a smack at the guy next to me.
Okay. Yep, and that is enough to have someone no longer next to you. One more action.
And then I will intimidate the guy I just smacked next to Brummel.
Go right ahead. You want to hero point that?
Buff. Buff. Nah, it's
Okay.
not that. Doesn't make that much of a deal.
You only got two. You got two right now. You get another in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You can't take them with you.
Let's just do it.
Every one count. Every 1 point of difference.
There you go. He's frightened.
Nice.
What do you do to intimidate him?
I'm coming for you, little man.
There it is. Rommel, you're up next. What are you doing? Oh, you might be muted.
Yeah, sorry, thanks. I think Bromwell's gonna go down swinging because if he tries to run off here, he's gonna take quite a bit of free hits.
Remember, PF2.
You could step.
It is unusual for things to have attacks of opportunity in Pathfinder 2.
That's true.
This is not 3.5 or PF1 or whatever. 5th edition.
So yeah, if
That's a sentence that would make absolutely no sense to anyone who is not a gamer, right?
yeah,
Like, it's not a 3.5 or this or
Yeah.
this. It's like, are you talking engineering? What the fuck is... What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I'm having a problem with my mouse. So if you don't mind moving
Yeah, of course.
Brommel for me, I'm gonna move 1 step down and back towards Ulagar
Yep.
with my first action.
Yep.
And then with his second action, he's gonna cast his mirror image.
Nice.
Kind of, I forget what this called now. It's on the top of his sheet, but and he'll place that back in the space that he left.
Okay.
And then he will take an attack through that image at the bandit at the top of the screen.
Does it replace him there? I can't remember how that works.
It's like I occupy both spaces.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I really should have
so-
worn my Schrodinger's cat shirt. Beetle and
So-
Grim makes a
Yeah,
great
exactly.
Schrodinger's cat thing where there's like a cat walking across on the top and a skeleton of a cat underneath.
So if
This
you
is
don't,
another great reference for let everybody know we are all nerds.
Yeah.
if you don't mind rolling for me, because I gotta get my mouse
yeah, of
switched
course.
over. Sorry. Outdoory sword.
Brancolonia dice. Let's just see
Oh,
if it
here
is
we go.
really. It's not okay. I'll stop being amused by that now. It's another nat 20.
What?
I'm not kidding at all.
Come
I'm
on.
not kidding. It's 19.
All right.
That's
That one.
ridiculous.
18. Yeah. That's got to be weighted. However, it's a 15. 15 plus whatever your modifier is. Probably wanted me to roll it in your sheet so that you wouldn't have to look up the damage, right? Because you can't move your fucking mouse.
Yeah,
Hold
my
on, let me
mouse
just do
is
that for
blocked.
you. Madison, use a little bit of thought here. Come on. I was grousing the other day about people doing the bare minimum for stuff, and I've just done the same fucking thing for you. Here we go. Boom. No bonus. Ignore what my roll was. Damage is 8 points. What does it look like as you
Nice.
drop yet another one?
Oh wow.
Which one were you attacking?
The one straight to north of him.
You got it.
Yeah, I think Brommel just is able to actually do a more of a piercing attack with the sword straight through.
Right through the eye. Here's our... And then it is the bandit's turn. All right, now, can you click on... You know, we can't. Hold on. Let me get your... ability up here. I just do not remember how that... Here, mirror's reflection. You're treated as being in both spaces. So what happens when someone attacks you? Can they hit you in either?
I think they can hit me in either, but I think at the end of my turn that I can decide which space I want to occupy? Is that the language? it
Oh,
says?
maybe. Let's see here. Some events force you to determine which image is a real you and then end the effect or cause your mirror self to disappear. This happens automatically at the start of your next turn. It also happens if you choose to move out of your square. Okay, here. It mimics your actions directly. You decide which each time you act. Anything that targets or would affect your reflection affects you and uses your stats. For something that would target or affect both of you affects you only once. Okay. So the upside is you get to affect both areas. The downside is that they can hit you with either. Okay, so here's one on you. That is an 18. I think that's just barely enough to hit. And that is 5 points of damage.
That will put him down.
And which square do you want to be in then? The other?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're back over here. Oh! When he sees you go down and that thing vanish, he will then spend one action to go here and attack Uligor. And that is 20. No, it's a 16. So Uligor deflects it with his impart his shield.
No. Do I get an attack of opportunity?
No, if he moves from there, he does. It's not when he moves into your reach, does it? Right?
Oh, you're probably right.
Okay.
I think it's out of. I think it's specifically out of.
Yeah. So, but you do get an attack of opportunity with this one moving in on you.
Okay.
The one you doomed.
Sweetie.
And he's actually got has slightly less AC too. So, let's see. Come on, big money. Oh, nice. Yeah. So he's about to come in on you. You see that one move on Uligor, but you can tell he's got it well in hand. You sweep to the side and cut the guts out of this other one. Then it is Shara's turn. You have panache. You have no one grappling you. What would you like to do? Oh, you're muted now, Dave. In fact, guys, to Mo.
Yeah, to Mo.
Shara draws her rapier, vaults up onto the table, and then says, "Drop your weapons and we might let you live."
Okay. Why don't you give us an intimidate? Please.
Trying to demoralize my foe.
Let's see here. Trog, you'll be up next again.
Yeah.
In the event that this is not successful. But Dave's last pregnant pause rolls have been like a 19 and a 20. Are you using electronic Brancolonia dice? Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got them in a Kickstarter.
I don't know, because I'm rolling... Not rolling a 20 again. Genuinely can't trust that
Just
dice.
like testing it out to see if it actually...
I kept rolling like weird last time. I was like, well, I got 19, got an 11, got a 15, and whatnot, and then 20 when I'm actually rolling it for something. 15. So he's frightened, but in the heat of the moment, I think his blood is up and he's ready to fight. But you have frightened him, though. Trog, what are you doing?
Trog is going to attempt to jump down really cool from this 10-foot ledge.
You know what? You get to use his favorite skill.
Oh, the swashbuckling I taught him when we were on the road that one.
So give us an athletics check, please.
Yes.
Hold on.
Here we go.
Yeah! That's what. That's beautiful.
It's super cool.
Go ahead. Where position yourself where you'd like. That's good enough.
Oh yeah.
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 Okay.
So then I can still move, right?
Yeah. You should still. You have 2 more actions.
Yeah. He's running over here. He's gonna say, "Yeah, what the lady said."
And then go ahead and give us an intimidation check.
There we go.
Set another nat 20 there.
That would be funny.
Not 20, but
All right, so he's and with that opening, oh, you know, if Shara wasn't there, oof, that would have been a good use of burning hands. But that'll torch Shara as well. So I think what he'll do instead is, let's see here.
Yeah, I didn't want to burn him. I was told not to burn the last guy.
no, you did the right thing.
I don't understand all these rules, guys. Burn this, don't burn that. I mean, you should just label
terrible.
things, all right? Okay. Oh, yeah. So Uligor looks and he gestures. The shield drops away, which was like a lattice work of lightning. He says some arcane words and then reaches forward. His hand streaming lightning, peels of electricity are falling off of it like a condensed storm. And 14 is good enough. Let's hear. James, would you give us a 2d12 roll, please? So this guy explodes from inside out with electricity as the spell discharges on him.
I thought we were taking a prisoner.
I didn't do that.
Trog.
When the lightning, you can all feel it. Those of you who have hair is beginning to stand kind of on end from the discharge of that spell. And Uligor looks down, and he looks down at Trog and says, "I think I may have damaged that one's sigil." And there is slag where its stag amulet would have been burned into its chest. With that collapsing, all of them seem to be gone. So, what happens next, guys?
I'm gonna climb climbing down from the rooftop.
Give us an athletics check, please.
Okay. Thankfully, I've got some hero points. Here we go. Athletics.
Well, now
Yep.
we celebrate
Hero
with
points.
libations,
Hero points.
correct?
Totally hero point.
If I don't kill myself on the way
There
down,
you go.
19.
No problem. No problem.
Okay.
All right. If the following rules weren't so much fun in PF2, then I wouldn't have your roll.
Right.
But yeah, they Oleg and Svetlana come running out, and Svetlana is like, "Is it done? Are they dead?"
Very dead.
Guys,
This one's extra crispy.
yeah, definitely. Looking around, there are ones with holes blasted in them with force magic, electrocuted with other magic, and quite cleanly carved with Vaz's blade. Oh, but Brommel is down, by the way.
What?
Oh, is he? Oh.
Yeah, anyone have
I
any
would
healing
cast my
spells?
stabilize. I have stabilize. Oh, I have healing. Actually, right.
Yeah.
I forgot. I took that.
He's
Good kind of burn.
Yes, this burn feels nice. Oh,
So it's 4, but with 3 actions, it would be... Or, sorry, with 2 actions, it would be 1d4... So it would be 4 plus 8 is 12. You'd heal 12 back, Brommel.
12. Okay.
there we go.
Nice. That's
Thank you.
So, Brommel, you're up once again. Brommel's really becoming the most durable of all of you guys.
Yeah.
That's what we call them, durable.
I do a medicine check for me too.
It's a weeble.
I'll help do a medicine check for take a break,
Sure.
killing people.
Yeah, go right ahead. Brommel's still down a bit. And Vaz, those are the only two who are affected.
Guess I'll give myself. I'll start bandaging myself up as well.
right ahead.
See, come along.
Excuse me.
Oh, where are you? Come on. There we go.
Madison, there you go. Oh. Vaz, you want to hero point that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Well, it's not a 5, though, so
well.
that's good.
Yeah.
All right, so the first hour, Vaz is going to need some time, but yours succeeded, Shara, so give us a 2d8 roll, and that's how many Brommel gets back. And then what do you guys wish to do next? 15! Holy smokes!
Ooh.
Once again, worth the wait.
Nice.
Back dead.
So,
I think Joywinius, while this has all been going on, because he hasn't needed healing nor could give any, was checking all the bodies and trying to find any items they might have had on them and put them all on the table. Anything I found, if they had a pendant, if they had and whatever items I can find on them, I will take out and put on the table.
So here's what you're going to get. There are 8 more Stag Lord amulets. Remember, each of those are worth 3 gold pieces. There are... Oh, give us a roll of 8d8, please. Whoever's feeling greediest.
I guess I am right now. I'm checking
You
everything.
are looting the body.
Exactly. Oh, but I rolled a 20.
20 silver pieces. There's a dagger on each of them. There's leather armor on each of them. There's a short bow on each of them. There's 10 arrows on each of them. And then on Hap's Bryden has another silver Stag Lord amulet worth 3 gold pieces as well. Silver armor, 15 silver pieces. He's got a composite short bow with 20 arrows. I'm not sure if anyone wants that or finds value in that.
Yeah, well, I'll pick it up for now so somebody can carry it. Let me see, I'll put it.
So a composite short bow and 20 arrows. Otherwise, nothing else significant of interest.
I added that to the party notes and just FYI.
Maybe we should give the silver to our gracious hosts. As
Oleg is actually a little more chatty this time, and he says, "No, you've done enough. If you've freed us from them, we can conduct trade again. That is more than enough you've given us." And he looks over at Svetlana as if waiting for approval. And she nods approvingly. Yes.
That's a very significant change in his demeanor since when we met him. So that's good.
So then, what do you guys... This was only in the morning. You guys have a full day to decide what you wish to do with it. There are 9 bodies that need disposing of right now.
Can we put them
somebody
in the
who didn't get to cast much burning magic is happy to help dispose of them.
Can we put them in the catapults, and then if they send friends, launch them out?
If it takes a while for them to arrive, that's a lot of rotting bodies on the corners.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, good call. And I'm sure Sheriff probably wouldn't have thought of that. Creepy
Well,
Dave
I
did.
mean, a single... think of what it's like when a single chicken breast goes off in your fridge.
Oh, God.
And then multiply
Please
that by an
don't remind
entire
me.
body.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
But what else? How do you wish to dispose of them, then? Burying them, there's plenty of room around here. They're happy to loan the cart if you wish to transport them out somewhere and dispose of them.
Yeah, probably. Take them away from the trading post and...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think it sounds like a good idea.
What else?
Try healing Vaz in and out.
Try healing Vaz?
Yeah, like doing a medicine.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Vaz has tried it herself, so you have to wait an hour, but you got more than enough time. Go ahead and give us a roll. I'm sure it'll be worth the wait.
Hoping it's worth the wait.
Here it comes. Spoke too
Vaz
soon. Hero point that?
Vaz is unhealable. We get a hero point.
Yeah,
now.
hero point that.
I'm going to use the one I just got 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, you guys will all get hero point at 10:30.
Yeah, nice. Okay, cool.
Oops.
I'm really just saying that because my character sheet is really slow. And
Oh, and remember, it's a composite short bow, too.
Yeah, sorry, that was the thing. I was going to edit my short bow to be
Oh, okay, got it.
composite now. Let me just...
And here we go. Hey, there you go. That's 2d8. You're healed.
2d8. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, coming up. Money, big money.
Oh, yeah. You want to roll it?
Sure.
Excellent.
Already sent it. You'll get it eventually.
12. Pretty good.
Woohoo!
All right.
Thank you.
Then, what happens next? So Oleg and Svetlana ask, mainly Oleg's sort of done all his chattiness for the month, so Svetlana probably asked, then what to now? If you were not out here to assist with the not from Restov sent for on this task, what then? Where will you go now?
Well, first of all, I will just say that there is some danger here that once the Stag Lord and his forces discover the loss of their companions, they may come here and be trying to seek vengeance. My only hope is that the message that you sent did arrive to Restov, and perhaps there is a party of individuals on their way already to aid you, but we do not have a way of knowing that. There's something that we can do for you to make you feel more protected, for we have to leave relatively soon, unfortunately.
Svetlana looks at Oleg, and Oleg, they both sort of look at one another. She says, we chose to live out here. We are used to fending for ourselves. If the bodies do not surface, I cannot see how they would know where they went missing. The stolen lands can be quite quite dangerous, even for the Stag Lord's bandits.
So we need to make sure we do a good job of hiding, however we bury these bodies so that they're not discovered.
Arm sticking out of the ground, one by a knee.
Just like with the finger pointing at the trading post.
I'm not sure I agreed with your idea of spelling out Oleg did this with body parts, but
right. What if we did acquire some of the weapons from these bandits? Would any of those help you?
I think Oleg is the one who speaks now, and he says, if they were traced back to here.
Good point.
You can take them with you or dispose of them with them.
Very good.
What if this vicious woman? Do you fear her return?
Svetlana says, I think it is as you say. If word has come that someone will be coming, help will be coming, then I think perhaps we can expect that to arrive soon.
Fair.
What will you all do then? Back to Restov? Or?
We have other matters that we must deal with, but it will involve a conversation with our newfound compatriot here, Ulagar.
Ulagar sheathes the hungering blade. And he says, we should talk. And he looks over at Svetlana. Have you more wine? And she's kind of stopping, about to kind of stammer out about, like, oh, we don't have the same kind of quality. And he says, whatever you have. I have a thirst that needs slaking. She says, I can imagine. And Ulagor gestures to the table. Shall we sit?
I'll go sit.
Yes.
And we need to clean up
Indeed.
the table. Mop up some of the blood around the tables where we, stabbed guys, burned them.
Okay.
Just loaded body.
Yeah.
Or sit at the other table, maybe.
Ulagor's quite happy to be here.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
One cannot be squeamish when you trade in the shedding of blood. Then he looks at you, Drowinius.
Yeah.
You said a name that I've not heard.
Mm-hmm.
I've not heard spoken aloud in many, many years.
Your ancestor?
My stock, yes. My father was, and he kind of gestures to where Vaz is sitting, but my mother was a proud Aldori woman. Our kind have at first hidden, and then when the Aldori bent the knee to the conqueror, well, the sword lords hold positions in Rostov. It is not but a name, Sword Lord. So my kind earned their keep in that manner. He said that your patron wished my sword to gain a position of some kind.
It was not I that stated that. I actually don't remember which of you.
It was Shara. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. But Shara, what did we think exactly was their objective here? Getting this sword for themselves, to try to start this new era in the Stolen Lands with the return of an ancient house. That was my understanding.
Yeah, that's what. This is Dave. That's my understanding is how it worked, right? Is that they wanted to use the sword as a token to put the sword, right?
To use a token, sorry?
Using the sword as a way of getting themselves put forward.
Yeah, because the idea being that the return of a sword from like an heirloom from one of the lost families, it's almost like a lost flock returning.
Right.
But in this case, it's as you said that like now you have the sword and the person returning. So someone from the bloodline and someone bearing the sword. Certainly something.
A much more powerful statement if we can bring more than just the sword. Although, as a group, that might not put us in very good standing with the Rana Rubelwood, her Mary Van. But
I guess
we have
possible.
Why don't you guys give us either a society or any kind of bandit or criminal or underworld lore type role?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who
and
has
Brommel,
that.
you got your jack of all trades lore, so you can roll that.
Lore?
You got your all-purpose lore, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll. Trog and Drawinius, are you satisfied with those rolls, or you want to hear a point those?
Really.
Not really. So yeah, here we go.
So once again, Brommel.
Mm-hmm.
That Bandicoot lore roll is pretty fucking good from Trog too. It's hilarious that Brommel constantly knowing random. He's like a lazy writer's way of introducing information. Suddenly, like, hey, I happen to know this kind of thing. How the fuck do you know that? All right, let's know it. So Sharon, not so much. Drawinius is 26. Holy smokes! Yeah. So between Brommel, Trog, and Drawinius, you guys have heard. She's a bit of a kind of crime lord type in Rostov, and she's got definitely has her fingers in a couple of kind of dangerous pies, but she's not the most powerful one, and she certainly is not does not have the reach or influence of the sword lords. Not 20 from Shara. So yeah, sure.
Nice.
You served as a accountant for her. So like, there's two things: is that she just wants to profit. So there's two ways you can go along with her plan, you know, and give up the sword. But it seems like Oligor is unlikely to give up the sword. You can cross her, and she's, you know, she's not going to be happy with that, and she'll probably try and seek revenge. But you know, if you are able to get the protection of a sword lord, then she would have to calculate whether or not she wants to piss off a sword lord to get to you guys. But with a nat 20, I think you also know there's another route, which might be she's always happy to take a deal.
Okay, I'll mention. She'll mention that. Like, you know, yeah, crossing her would be really would be not best, but you might be willing to just. She might be willing to be bought. We can make a deal with her to keep her off our back.
Especially if you're achieving essentially the same ends, but in a different way. She's not going to care, you know?
No.
She just wants the power and influence and the money that'll come with it.
Yeah, if she can get something for her out of this and not be completely left out, then she'll be happy. If we completely shut her out of the deal and you know, go bypass her, then yeah, we'll make it in.
There is something else you've heard too. So there is, because you rolled a nat 20, I want to give you a little extra because you actually had that connection with her before. You may remember that you were doing the bookkeeping stuff for her.
I just didn't want to end on a 1.
No, heck no. That's much better with a nat 20. Okay.
But throw it. That's good.
So what you had heard, where is it here?
Write this down.
Sure, was that Dave? I couldn't.
Oh, looks like George just got this. He's got a pen out. Are you ready to write this down?
Of course.
That's just some juicy backstory stuff here. Let's see here. I'm just trying to see where they had the information. Aha. So what you heard is that the one thing you are likely to the one thing you need to weigh in this in general is she has made some kind of deal with the Black Tears. The Black Tears are an Isian group from the north. They're the ones who apparently knew about the pending call for heroes that's coming from the, what's her name, Jamandi Aldori?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
Lady Jamandi.
Aldori.
They heard about Lady Jamandi's plan, which means that probably people in Pitax may likely have information on it too, because the Black Tears are kind of like you can think of it like an Isian Oprichnik. I think is it the Oprichnik? Oprichnik's the secret police for Ivan the Great, right? Is that right? Anyone?
I wish I knew the answer to that question.
Really?
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. I think it was the Oprichniks. Hold on. Search Google. There we go.
I mean, this is an educational channel.
Yep. Oprichnika was the secret police and bodyguards for Ivan the Great. There we go.
See, you get
So-
to have fun and learn something at the same time.
Yeah. So that's what they are. Is they are scary. They're kind of like one of the first in our world. One of the first secret polices that you had in a modern state. But the Black Tears are kind of like an Ishian version of that. Not really part of the state, but more so just part of the people who are in control now that the Conqueror and his family has disappeared. So that just means that there's a factor in there too. How you guys have to kind of guess how the Black Tears may respond to that. But then, so what do you guys say to Ulgor then? Enjoy this knife in your throat, and thank you for the sword.
Forget everything.
There may be more to this story that, of course, you would know better than we, but it seems like it would be to your benefit to accompany us to meet Lady Jamandi and present yourself as the legacy of your house, especially bearing the blade that you carry. I think she would welcome you with open arms. But I do not know her very well, so I cannot say for sure one way or the other. But would you be interested in coming along with us and potentially regaining your rightful place?
This mark that you are hoping to gain, this is to return here and bring this land to heal?
Yes, the objective, as I understand it, is to civilize a great region of the stolen lands.
The Stag Lord would not take well to you claiming lands he has claimed as his own.
That's a fair point, and
dear.
but I do not think that will stop the Sword Lords from doing it.
But will
One
it
that brings
stop
us pleasure.
you?
An even better
contrary.
question. But
You say well.
I think we have seen from just this battle we've just had that we do have some capabilities, so perhaps we can. Although you may be the one, I'm sure that you would like to see him go down. Perhaps you would be the one who would help eradicate the Stag Lord and his bandits.
He looks over at you, Vaz. You seemed like you were going to say something.
No, as you see, offending the Stag Lords has never been a concern of ours.
Now, what about eradicating the Stag Lord?
20 down. It's a good start.
He looks at you,
Oh, I'm
Trog.
sorry.
I think I like your
23
friends.
down.
Yes, I do too.
Then to Restov. And he looks at Shara once again. And I hope your silver tongue will avail you well, because it may take all your convincing to have them believe that a bastard former criminal is one of their lords.
I imagine among all
From
the
what I've
lords,
heard, they're all bastards.
they're all criminals. somewhere.
He grins. I like this one particularly. Then, for Restov. And with that, guys, we bring session 11 to a close. So, I'm going to bring you guys over here. Where the heck are we? There we are. Battle of Oleg's trading post is over. And guys, we're very nearly done the pre-adventure of our adventure.
Exactly.
So then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this latest session of our Kingmaker campaign. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where all of us are active, and we have a channel there dedicated to, certainly for PF2. Do we have one for Kingmaker? I don't know. We certainly have one for Pathfinder 2. I don't think we do for Kingmaker.
But I don't think...
Yeah.
No, I don't think we do. I think we just have the player.
Yeah, so there's one for that. There's one for most other campaigns we run on the channel. Certainly all games we run on the channel. And there are a ton of other great channels with some terrific people on there with great and helpful information. So, you know, finding a group for selecting between virtual tabletops, just talking about general RPGs in general, talking about video games in general. Tons of great people. You are more than welcome to join the Dungeon Musings community over there. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America, although I do need to follow up with them this week for our next discount code. They not only have a great selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they also have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. Not only do they have... I'm back in my loop here. Man, can you tell I didn't drink coffee tonight? Like, holy smokes. They have... let's see here. They do not have in stock something that you are looking for, but it is listed there. You can often put it on a want list. They'll send you an email when it comes in, and then you can pick it up at your leisure. They also have, if you make a purchase of $10 or more, be sure to enter the code SUMMERMUSER, all caps, all one word, at checkout, and you will save yourself 10% on your purchase. That's going to change in about a week's time, so if you're listening to this at a later date, come back and check one of our more recent videos, and you'll get the most recent discount code. It's always listed in the description of the video. There's also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really amazing organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children, including ongoing relief efforts at the time of recording in Ukraine and the surrounding countries. There is a, let's see, all money that goes through that link goes directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman, just goes to help out the kids who benefit from their services. As a small way of saying thank you, if you have donated $10 or more through that link since June 1st, 2023, head on over to the Charity Initiatives channel of the Dungeon Musings Discord server and cast your vote for what game and what kinds of heroes we're going to be playing in our next charity session. Our year-long charity campaign, the Year of Ill Omens, has seen us go all across space and time, playing a wide variety of different kinds of heroes in a wide variety of different systems. This time, it appears that GURPS may be taking the lead, and we're certainly playing a Viking adventure, but the voting is still open as to whether it's going to be a Viking out or marauders out of Viking, or whether it's going to be travelers to a strange land, or perhaps a household of a Thane or Jarl. But I look forward to seeing what's going to happen, and it'll be decided by the donors. Then we will be running that at the end, and if you've donated $10 or more since June, you will also be able to vote on the final session of that 6-part campaign, and that will be voting on a specific time period. Well, it's going to be the modern day, but it will be, I'm going to jazz it up a little bit, but it'll be sometime in the modern day with some different, very different kinds of heroes, and again, another game system that'll be voted on by the donors. So a small way for us to say thank you to those who have generously supported the SOS Children's Villages International Charity. I'll say as well, just a very quick thank you to everybody who donated to assist our friend J.M. DeFogie, the creator of Jackals, the really terrific Bronze Age RPG. He's still recovering, so if you we have seen some there you go. We've seen people from the community who have supported him. He's currently recovering, thankfully, from a very serious medical challenge, and he is currently unable to work, but he is, from the generosity of I mean, his many friends in the community, but also from members of the Dungeon Musings Discord community, which are not separate in the Venn diagram necessarily. They've helped him. If you are interested in helping out JM, you can find the link to that charity, the GoFundMe that his friends and family have set up on the Dungeon Musings Discord server. The last thing I will say, speaking of heroes, is an enormous thank you to our stalwart heroes from today. So, as if written by Dr. Seuss, Jamie, Jeff, James, George, and Dave. Thank you so much for playing today, guys. That was a really fun session. It was really great to be back in this campaign again after such a long break from it. So thank you, guys, and congratulations on defeating yet more minions of the Stag Lord. So, for those listening at home, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time in the Stolen Lands for our heroes to make the simple trip back. And I mean, how hard can it be? All you gotta do is get back. You guys have 15 days. What could possibly go wrong? And until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our heroes, our stalwart would-be kingmakers, are running into. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.
See ya.
Bye.